Welcome to the Dome at America's Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Thousands of fans have packed the stadium to watch the high-flying stars of Monster Energy AMA Supercross and FIM World Championship battle it out.
and goes on bike rides with the elderly. He makes gun signs with the right hand and animal balloons with the left hand.
But you did get knocked out against you right home.
Yeah, that was fluke. You said it yourself,
I know.
I watched that one.
But it did happen.
It happens every time, the best fighter doesn't always win.
Correct.
It happened with you and Luke Bronco.
Joining us via Skype from Las Vegas is the notorious one, Conor McGregor. Conor, what happened at the press conference, man?
Look, I don't know. I seen people panicking up into the stands, and I thought maybe there was a case of dehydration going on. I was simply launching up some hydration for people. Around the desert here, it's intense.
Well, no, if you're going to fight professionally, you got to tough your chin.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Simple.
It was certainly more...
It's not open for debate. The chin has to be tucked. Ask any striking coach, Garrett, you're very good at reading the teleprompter. We are the fighters, okay? The chin has to be tucked. Or has to be tucked in. No, let's do this.
I believe somebody's mic is about to get cut.
According to Cody, he's getting... Sorry, they're doing a rematch. Him and Dominic are going to do it again. If TJ sits out, does he get the winner?
Say that again?
If TJ sits out...
American accent, say that again.
Dana. So,
You need to translate for him,
a rematch. Okay, if TJ sits out on the sidelines, okay, does he get the title fight that he wanted for so long, bro?
How badly did those body shots hurt? Because obviously we could see they were taking some kind of a toll on him.
Yeah, it was hurting pretty bad. My main concern was not taking a crap in the middle of the cage, so I just had to take number 2. That's all that was.
That makes perfect sense, Derek. I mean, I understand your pain, bro. I'll tell you that right now.
You touched on this a little bit before, but do you think that Nick really wants to come back and take Lex to the fight? Maybe you're saving GSP for Nick?
No, the next fight. Still,
Maybe
start offering.
fight me. Just throwing it out.
Maybe. Yeah, actually, what do you think?
Well, I think he's looking for the pound-for-pound best fighter.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Luke, thank you for joining us, man.
I think he's looking for the pound-for-pound best fighter. How about the next fight? Still,
Maybe
start offering.
fight me. Just throwing it out.
Maybe. Yeah, actually, what do you think?
Well, I think he's looking for the pound-for-pound best fighter.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Luke, thank you for joining us, man. Yeah. I love you.
He didn't say it. He didn't say it.
Luke.
Hey.
What? You can say it on the Skype, but you can't tell me you love me on TV?
Do you see? You are my man.
I love you, Luke.
I'm going to break up the awkwardness. I'm breaking up the awkwardness. Listen, when you're undefeated as a fighter, I was there one time, I was 15, you think you're invincible, you think no one can beat you. Therefore, we've got a house of gentlemen that are all undefeated. What does that mean? It guarantees fantastic fights. I can't wait to see it.
No, absolutely. And every regional promotion is different. You can be undefeated in England, for example.
When he had you in that 100%, when he DDT'd you, how did that make you feel? Did that wake you up, or did you... When he had you in that 100%, when he...
It guarantees fantastic fights. I can't wait to see it.
No, absolutely. And every regional promotion is different. You can be undefeated in England, for example.
When he had you in that 100%, when he DDT'd you, how did that make you feel? Did that wake you up, or were you just like okay, or did it hurt? Or what was going on in your head as soon as you guys slammed on the mat?
I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't even know what a DDT is. I think that's a WWE move. I'm pretty sure I'm the one that lifted him in the air, so I don't see how he's slamming me if I got him on my shoulder. I mean, can we put a real journalist on?
We're gonna play fighter impersonations. Sugar, you are up first. As Alistair Overeem, why, sir, did you leave the Blackzilians?
Well, first and foremost, please watch how you address me. It's always Mr. Alistair Overeem. And I left the Blackzilians because I felt that if it wasn't the right fit, they didn't pay enough attention to Alistair.
He was saying this, he goes, I love you, man! I love you, man! Let's fight right now! I'm a caveman! Man! I love you! Well, he's very short. Wow!
And sir, yeah, I mean, who would you like as your first opponent when you come back?
KB, that is a very interesting question, but I still do not know how a microphone works. So I will, I'm not sure how loud I am talking right now, but if you can hear me, Dana, please, I want the UFC, please, Dana!
Yes, Luke Rockhold has been MIA since losing his title to Left Hook Larry. Michael, he said he has his eyes set on a rematch with you, but when he does come back, what will he say?
Hey man, like, you know, I've just been hanging out, dude. I'm gonna keep accepting matches against the #1 contenders, but then I'm totally gonna like pull out with an injury, and I'll do it time and time again, man. Because Left Hook Larry took my soul. Wow.
I don't know when to call somebody quits. I don't know when to call, say, Dan Henderson to stop, Sam Stout. I don't know when to say that. Nobody has that right. But I will say that sometimes it takes more cojones to stop yourself than it does to keep going, and that's something Mike Bisping can learn about.
Ooh, I knew there was a Bisping dig in there somewhere.
He's still learning. He's still learning.
We still have fights to come. 6 fights to come on the card. We're going to preview the action ahead. Gentlemen.
Oh, brutal.
I've got a question for Dana. Well, it's not a question, it's more of a proposition. Dana, I'm 5-time national kickboxing champion. I'm Irish and British champion at Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm a world medalist at kickboxing. So I'm guaranteed that you're going to be strapping that gold belt around my waist.
I love it. What's your proposition?
So help me with advance on my first paycheck for a fight. To see Conor versus Aldo in July.
I love it. You're the best, kid.
What are some of your favorite cities to check out and sample?
I'm a big fan of Latin America.
Let's leave it at that. What's your next question?
My question is for John Jones. John, you're a freaking inspiration. I love you, man. But like Kanye West, it is hard to be your fan.
Now, Luke Rockhold, when you're traveling around the world, actually, sampling all the different cultures that local cities offer, I'm talking about food, everybody relax.
And I was talking about wine tasting, just to clarify that.
Totally.
My question is, you're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you.
That's pretty good.
You feel like heaven to touch. I want to hold you so much. At last, love has arrived. I thank God you're alive. You're just too good to be true. I can't take my eyes off of you.
Sure, get up there, bitch. What happens when I win?
If you beat me in a stare down,
If you
win,
what happens if you tap? That's all I want to know. What do I get?
I black out before I tap out, bitch.
Whoa.
One more, Dana. You owed me some WC DVDs, and all the Dark Age DVDs. You never gave them to me. I had to buy them myself.
I personally told you that I would burn you old DVDs.
You personally told me. You had your camera guy that walks around you that eats all the donuts. Write it down, and I never got them. All right? I bought them myself, so I want some pride shirts and everything now.
Mike, I want to thank you again for UFC 130, letting me sit by you.
My pleasure. Happy birthday, buddy. That was your birthday present, right?
Yeah, it could be on.
Wait a minute. Did you get a seat because you told him it was your birthday? That's a gangster move by you. Well done. You conned Goldberg, and then you forgot your own law. That's beautiful.
Any chance of bringing back Pride Rules for a Japanese guard?
Who did you say?
Pride Rules.
Paid rules. 5 rules.
Pride. Pride Rules.
You're killing me over there, Braveheart.
This question is for Eddie Alvarez. You've been mentioning that Conor McGregor is not a championship fighter. He only has 2 to 3 rounds. Yet in your professional career, you've only went to the 5th round twice and lost one of them. What the fuck are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? That's the champ! That's the fucking champ right there! Fuck you, man!
I'm a college graduate. I'm looking for a job. You got a business card? I want to be on Fox Sports 1 one day. I just want to ask you straight up, do you have someone I can talk to?
Sure, you make you a commentator next weekend, leading up to the Pettis fight. How's that sound?
Hey, I can fetch coffee, whatever you need me to start at.
Bring your resume up here.
I got you, Dave.
All right.
Hey, I don't have it on me, but I'll talk to you if you give me the opportunities.
You said you left because you weren't healthy. When did you start to feel better, and did you have any other procedures after you left the UFC and before you came back?
Well, I think it was like day 49 after I left. Like, I can't remember the exact hour. I feel fucking awesome. Why does it matter? I'm here.
Is Brock Lesnar a people person?
Please tell me this is a rib. Brock Lesnar actually is telling people that he wrote a book, when to the contrary, there's no evidence that he's actually literate. But he is a very tough guy.
Floyd, champion, with all respect, they say all dogs, they don't learn tricks, but you know, hunter dogs, they're always going to be ending catching rabbit, and you're going to be ending catching the rabbit. You are the winner, you're the champion.
I don't know what you said, but shit, thank you. I know you said I'm the winner, I'm the champion, I like that. I don't know what you said, but thank you.
You are the baddest president ever, and I just thank you for being so real.
I love you, man. What do you want, a job? You looking for a job, too?
I got a job, but I'll take it.
You just got the last guy fired. You're in.
Hell yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
What's your question?
Sorry, bro. You know what? I do have my resume, so. Come prepared, son.
We have been waiting 3 years until your fight, so what is your feeling now? Tell?
Hello, sweet potato. What was the question? I was a little distracted. What did you say?
My question was, what is your feeling now, child?
Pretty excited, as a matter of fact. But back to the fight.
Over here for the last time, to the left. Or my left. Go ahead.
Hi, Holly. My question is, as a woman in a male-dominated field, do you think that you get all the respect that you really deserve for what you do? Especially with all of the people here whistling at you and making comments about your appearance.
Fuck ISIS!
Who do you think would give you the hardest fight out of anybody on stage? Right here. Right here, the hardest hitting 145 pounds, the real hardest hitting 145er right here. This guy TKOs people. When I knock people off, they don't fucking move. Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that? You know damn well who I am. Who the fuck is that?
Question to Mark. There's a clip when you're eating an apple on the net, and it's got more than 20,000 comments.
Right here,
the mic, that's rule number 1.
I'll give him
number 1. I gotta hold on to the mic.
This is James Tone reporting for this goddamn station, wherever it is. I'm out of here.
Wait.
I don't agree with you because you never talk about my name. Always.
I was talking about you for 2 years when you were injured. People used to say to me, why do you keep having Khabib on your show? He's not fighting. And I would have you on it again and again.
Never send 2 agreements for the fight.
I hope you realize that they didn't do right by you.
I don't understand. Because you play game. Because
I play the game. I'm going to play the game.
Because you play game.
I'm going to play the game. Okay.
You have to stop. Stay loyal.
Are you going to fight the winner of Conor Eddie? Are you going to fight the winner?
I want to fight with you.
Oh, come on. This is big. This is showing the world that Jews and Muslims can come together as friends, right? Salam alaikum. Peace in the Middle East, right?
Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC 135 alongside Quinton Rampage Jackson, who lost via submission tonight to John Jones. And
Hold on. Why you had to bring it up the way I lost tonight? You could have just said, "Fault John Jones." Why you had to just bring it up the way I lost?
Well, it's a fact, right? I'm just trying to state the facts in case someone didn't see the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry for rubbing it in.
It seemed like you was rubbing it in.
You know, something against me? Do you not like me, Nick?
I feel like you instigate fights quite a bit, but you know, that's
fights between the fighters.
Yeah, I mean maybe that's your job, but where I come from, you know, people like that get slapped.
You said all the right things, but I'd have to imagine after all the promotion, the commercials, the world tour, all that, there's a part of you that would be disappointed if it's not Jose. I mean, this is a culmination. You want to beat the king, right? The current king. The current king.
You're looking at the current king, Ariel. You're interviewing the current king.
Alistair, he told us that he saw you yesterday while you're standing so far away. How are you?
That's good. And I'm talking with the lady, and all of a sudden, but
sorry, I don't mean to butt in. It's a scrum sort of format.
You have your way of forcing your.
No, that's not very nice. Anyway, you look great. I like the jacket. On your
I can hear you.
Left. On your left.
Oh, the hell you want?
Well, congratulations on winning first and foremost.
That means a lot coming from you.
Thank you. Question for Nick, right over here. To your left, right.
And ask you why you weren't here yesterday and what happened and whose fault was it?
There you go. Thanks, Dana.
I know you, man.
Appreciate it. That was actually my question.
That's it.
What happened yesterday? Was it because of
Ariel?
Yeah.
He's here.
Okay,
He's here. He's here now. You got any questions about the fight?
Obviously, it was a big story.
Yeah, he's here.
Spoke about it. It's a part of the story.
I understand. Which part of what story?
Of this fight. A lot of people are interested in watching this press conference to see if Nick was going to show up because he wasn't there yesterday. So
He's here today, and I guarantee you he'll be there tomorrow at the weigh-ins, and I guarantee you he will be there Saturday.
The outcome of your fight, I said, Rampage, that's my lock of the night.
That means you lost money on me.
No, that means I picked you, despite the fact that you called me out and made me a little nervous on camera.
Well, you've been talking bad about me, homie. I get tired of that. People don't know how much work I put in to this job, and they disrespect fighters and think they can say what they want to say about us, man. We human beings, dog.
Ariel Helwani getting set for UFC 118 with James Lights Out Tony, who of course faces Randy Couture this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. What did you say, James?
You hate boxing?
Absolutely not.
You sure? What did you say that for then?
Who said that?
Why you say that?
Bob Arum. That's old news, James. We're here to talk about UFC 118.
You talked about things 50 years. Did you ever think about that sort of thing?
You don't want me to be Conor McGregor. You ain't been mega.
No. I've been waiting for 6 hours to talk to you.
Well, I didn't tell you to wait. But I didn't know I was doing the interview.
No, I asked you.
Yeah, but see, I didn't even know I was doing the interview.
And now you're being told that you do that.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that now. Now you like to put words in my mouth. Don't do that.
Okay.
I've already spoke about what I said. I'm gonna leave it there.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not gonna keep engaging in this.
Okay.
What I said is what I said.
Fair enough.
No one's doubting that, but just wanted to get the reason
You want
why.
to antagonize him. You want to aggravate him and get him pissed off.
That absolutely not.
It's totally the truth. That's
Asking a
why I
question.
knew what your question was right when I called it, right when you picked up the microphone. You never even ask questions. First, you usually hang back and wait. Oh, you had to get that first question. You knew what you wanted.
God forbid.
You wanted to piss him off and aggravate him. Would you have any questions about the fight?
Not right now.
Okay.
What's the severity of your hand?
What'd you say?
How injured is your hand?
Man, you gotta use layman's terms when we talking to me, homie. Come on, man. Don't be trying to show your education up here, man. Come on, dog. Don't do me like that.
The hand.
What about it? What you want to know?
Your hand.
What about it?
How hurt is it? How injured is your hand?
Ask questions first. You usually hang back and wait. Oh, you had to get that first question. You knew what you wanted.
God forbid.
You wanted to piss him off and aggravate him. Would you have any questions about the fight?
Not right now.
Okay.
What's the severity of your hand injury?
What'd you say?
How injured is your hand?
Man, you gotta use layman's terms when we talking to me, homie. Come on, man. Don't be trying to show your education up here, man. Come on, dog. Don't do me like that.
The hand.
What about it? What you want to know?
Your hand.
What about it?
How hurt is it?
It's not hurt enough to whoop your ass right now.
Dana, just one for you. When you say that you're going to take care of Yoel Romero, what do you mean by that? Can you elaborate? What does that mean?
That's between me and Yoel Romero.
Well, there is.
Thanks for asking. That's between us.
I know, but there is the precedent with Carlos Condit and GSP where.
Is there? There's really not a precedent. There's there's different scenarios and different situations. Don't worry about what Yoel Romero's going to make. Me and Yoel will take care of that.
There were 9 sections that were completely empty up top. Do you know, was there a specific reason for that?
Was there a reason why the section was empty?
It just because opposite way they were all full, so I was just curious if those were blocked off for some reason. There were just 9 sections in a row that were empty up top. Question about Dana White. First you said you were going to knock him out, but now yesterday at the press conference, it seems as though you actually like him.
Yo, there you go with it. Gee, you go ask Dana White this.
For some reason, there were just 9 sections in a row that were empty up top. Question about Dana White. First you said you were going to knock him out, but now yesterday at the press conference, it seems as though you actually like him.
Yo, there you go with it. Gee, you go ask Dana White this.
One more question, James. One more question. One more question, James. One more question before I let you go. One more question, James. There he goes, James Toney.
I'm gonna go see the doctor. I'm gonna go see the doctor. Maybe Tuesday, because you know. But I see this little finger right here is swollen. Honestly, it is. I know it's bad, but this finger right here is swollen. So I gotta check that out.
I'm all right. You know, I wasn't gonna do this interview, but they told me I had to. So, you know, I feel good. I'm ready to fight, and I don't know. I don't have much to say.
Frank Mir gets hurt. Bless you. Don't be sneezing in my interview next time. You wait. I smell gas over here. We'll blow our ass up over here. I can smell gas. Anyway, like I was saying. I forgot what I was saying, because I smell gas and we got people sneezing.
Well, let me ask you a quick question.
No, I'm going to remember right now. Hell wrong with you? Ariel?
Oh, no, Ariel, like me, you got problems. Like,
oh. Okay.
You know,
let's hash this out.
Sometimes if I requested to be on your show, you know, like.
Wait a second.
There are times to these dudes that ain't really fighters, you know. There's been a couple times, like I tried to be on your show, you know, I hit you up, I hit you on Twitter or whatever, and, you know, I don't get no response, but, you know, y'all hit me up right away when I get a big fight, and then, you know, it's just like, that shit just don't rub me the right way.
What you want to know?
Well, Rampage, congratulations on a very dominant win.
That's a fake congratulations coming out of your mouth right now. Honestly.
Look, I had a problem. Are you fucking done?
Done what?
You gonna fucking talk to me?
Man, I have to be honest with you. I want to be honest with you. Ma'am, you know, man.
Yo, bro, I'm fucking. Yo,
okay.
You know what? You guys fucking have a fucking stupid internet radio show in your mom's basement.
That's it? You're gonna do this?
Yeah, you fucking saw what I'm doing.
Man, this is.
Who is this? Yo, bro, I'm fucking. Yo, okay. You know what? You guys fucking have a fucking stupid internet radio show in your mom's basement.
That's it? You're gonna do this?
Yeah, you fucking saw what I'm doing.
Man, this is not
hey,
Andy Kaufman and.
Stop calling me man.
Okay.
Before we get to the comings and goings of Quentin Rampage Jackson, let's talk about the fight we just witnessed. You were in the corner of Czech Congo. You saw him go down early. What was going through your mind?
Man, you know, I was like, no, you know, Czech Congo just came off a bad injury, a spine injury, and I knew this fight was going to be a big challenge for him, a personal challenge, and I was in shock because I never seen Congo really go really down like that, and he went down twice, and then when he came, brought it back to uppercut, I was relieved.
Did you think the fight should have been stopped?
When Congo went down?
Yeah.
Why you ask me something like that?
Well,
But why you ask me something like that?
Were you worried about Congo's safety?
I was worried about Congo's safety, but he showed that he was still, you know what I'm saying, in the fight. Right. So why you ask me something like that? No, I don't think the fight should have been stopped, because if he had laid there and sprawled out, yeah, please safety of my brother, stop the fight. But he didn't show that. He showed heart and dedication that he wanted to win this fight. And that tells me a lot about his personality, because, trust me, most people that come off injuries like that have to retire, the injury that he had.
So kudos to Mirgliata for letting it go. September 24th. What do you think? Did you hear something different? You're giving me the stink eye.
I'm actually like, why are you even talking to me? Let him ask.
Why? I thought we squashed it.
No, we haven't squashed it. You want to squash it, we got to step in that cage and go through.
Are you ready? I dressed up for you and everything.
No, you look good today.
Right.
All right, I'll ask you. All right, you're in Denver and you got a 5-round title fight in that altitude. Does that kind of bother you a little?
No, it don't bother me that much because, you know what I'm saying, I'm a fighter. I fight on the moon if I have to.
That's really high altitude.
That's really high altitude. But if I have to, I fight there. They pay me enough.
But I mean, what are you thinking about John Jones? The guy's been on a roll. He just beat Shogun.
Let him ask that question.
Okay.
So your thoughts on your opponent, John Jones? He's been the champion. He's been smashing everyone. Yeah, I got an ass whooping by him. Your thoughts?
You fought John Jones?
Yeah.
I think I did see that fight with John Jones. Hey, John Jones is...
It's funny as shit.
So what is it that he did that disrespected you that got you to dislike him?
This is not a therapy session.
Well, no, but you accused him of starting this, right?
I said what I said. He spoke my name out of turn.
He spoke your name out of turn.
He should have given me my credit for what I've done for this division. I made this division. Without me, the division is nothing. Without me, he is prelim.
Connor, I wanted to ask you, Dana got between the two of you. You grabbed the chair. It's easy.
Need it one. Because he fucking needed one. That's why.
Okay, so
you see me grab a chair?
I did see you grab a chair.
That's all I had.
Okay, hold on one sec. So Connor, if Dana's not there, what are you gonna do?
Bounce it off his fucking head.
Dana, I know the WWE has dealt with chair shots. Are they allowed?
Nobody's getting across.
Well, I got my man. I was about to say you're a little late with your man there. Was that staged?
He's a fucking donkey. He is. He's an idiot. Some sort of shit about scripted or something he said. And he was like, oh, he's a big mad head on him or something. I don't know, he's a dope. He's a mad mush head or something. He looks like a Bones victim or something. You know him, dude? Does he look like that?
You called him Cholo in there. That's kind of racially motivated. Did you mean to say it like that?
Mate, shut the f*** up with the way to be. Remember that Jesus D you brought up? Yeah. It's such a stupid question, man.
People want to know that.
You're an idiot.
Then let me ask you, when you got Connor down and he tapped, you surprised at how quick that went, or?
I'd like to see you in there, my friend. Yeah? I'm not quick tap.
Oh, I would have been knocked out in the first round in 7 seconds. I was just wondering. It seemed like it was over quick.
I mean, when you turn and the shots I landed, I escaped. That Gilly was close. I rolled out. He caught me well. He landed him out, and then when I tried to bridge and roll, I tried to get that knee in the middle, and then I turned too much, and he sprawled me out. No idea, like, people talk shit about that, but fuck people, you know what I mean? I come in to fight, and that's it. People say what the fuck they want.
You said all the right things, but I'd have to imagine after all the promotion, the commercials, the world tour, all that, there's a part of you that would be disappointed if it's not Jose. I mean, this is a culmination. You want to beat the king, right? The current king. The current king.
You're looking at the current king, Ariel. You're interviewing the current king. But if you give me some tips on what I should ask you to mix it up a little bit. What you're ask me? Yeah, you're probably sick of all of these same questions. I don't know. Ask me what you want to know, but definitely rock something smart, you know. Them jeans, them runners. Look at them runners. Zoom in on them piece of shit. Yeah, man, you know what I mean? You should rock up suit, short, tied up to the thing. Proper microphone. That's a piece of shit. That's also a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Rock up like you mean it, you know? Act and you will become.
You're not the champion yet.
I am the champion.
Well, you're actually the interim title holder at the moment.
I'm a 3-time world champion.
At the moment, you're the interim featherweight champion. And at the moment, he holds the belts.
At the moment, I'm the Cage Warriors world featherweight champion. I'm the Cage Warriors world lightweight champion. I'm the UFC 145-pound featherweight world champion.
But when you beat Jose, you become the unified champion.
Okay, he has one, I have one. My one's, you're only as good as your last one. His last one.
15 months ago.
Who's the champion? Who's the champion there? So, interim. Take that interim out there. There ain't no interim in this. I'm a world champion. He's a world champion. We're going to find out who's the unified world champion. Don't put interim in there. I don't like that. Reebok sent a load of gear over and I said interim. It's like, what is that interim doing? I'm like, Conor McGregor makes me so embarrassed of being from Dublin. Like, I'd rather admit to being from the same city as Nicky Bourne. Who's Nicky, a man from Westlake? Ah, he's alright. He's alright. You know, I'm just pushing every button I can think of. Just knocked you down. How you feel now?
a ton of talent onto the scene. Guys like, you know, Florian and guys like TJ Dillashaw and on and on and on. So
TJ was KO'd on the show, though, right?
Is that TJ?
He was KO'd on the show, right?
No, I don't think so.
Was he not KO'd on the show? I thought he was KO'd.
The finale. The finale.
He didn't get KO'd. He didn't get KO'd.
What happened?
Yeah. That's a fight. That's a fight that Conor doesn't want either.
He's
another fight.
Come on, he is a twerp. I'd smoke him.
Conor, this was the longest fight of your career. Your previous longest.
Oh, that whiskey tastes so good.
Oh shit! Notorious Irish whiskey. Coming soon. Think I stop for half a second. I'm gonna take over the Irish whiskey market. And this is delicious, so keep an eye out for it. I told you that to your face. You brought him onto into the tough, thinking he was there to help you, and he was there to help him. He's a snake in the bars, and you need to figure that out. Stop him. Then maybe go and take him out.
Want either.
Go and take him out and build some numbers and entice me. Because right now I'm giggling at his little ass numbers. What did he bring none. He barely makes 6 figures a fight. And rightfully so. Katie Hopkins and Conor McGregor are vying for the accolade of being the worst human being alive, I reckon. Who's Katie Hopkins? Oh, stop. He barely makes that. He barely brings 6 figures. So
you take a fight against
I'd fight anyone. I'd fight you, him, and him all at the same time.
He doesn't
the numbers are right.
He doesn't want that fight.
I want that fight. Are you serious? I'm going up against supposedly the pound for pound #1, and he's groveling at my feet.
My curiosity is, as a fighter, if I came at you, let's say you didn't know me and we're in a bar, okay, and I'm saying some shite, okay? I'm saying some shite. Conor McGregor this, Conor McGregor that, and I've had a few too many pints.
You wouldn't be, if this was the case, I wouldn't even let you this close.
Really?
I would have already put you down.
But I have.
So, as far as I don't want a fight, come on. Jose's quaking in his boots and he's supposedly top of the pound for pound list. I have my eyes on Jose killing the featherweight division and going up and destroying that lightweight division as well.
The reach. Exactly. Just tell them what do you fear about Conor O'Brien?
Absolutely nothing.
It was like he took over. You came in, you brought him from high school, you brought him up to the camp, you ran. He's not your boy. Come on, they're not boys in this. He's not your boy.
Like
Come on, he's not. I don't mind him. I mean, I just don't. I sense disloyalty. I sense a snake. And I'm gonna say that when I see it. So it's not that I don't like TJ. He's all right. He's harmless as well. Little short ass. You know what I mean? But I just think he needs to man up.
If you like this video, click here to watch more.
You're not looking and it goes that way.
Can't win.
Now speaking, you look ahead a little bit. Most guys don't want to look past the fight in front of them. You're talking about going past Aldo, and you're talking about going up to 155. Is that definite? You beat Jose Aldo, you're going up to 155?
If Dos Anjos and Cerrone had the opportunity to walk from that current fight they're in and fight me, they take it. Because when you fight me, it changes your life.
They're being brought to you now, and I hope you agree to wear these. I think this is going to be terrific for everybody. I think...
hell no. Show me better body shooting in MMA where a man has been shut down in his body where he can't even lift his hands because to protect his face. I killed the body and then decapitated the head. It was clean work.
Good dodge. Oh, okay, you should have dodged that one. No!
No! Pay me. Remember that myth about that don't ever kick a wrestler? So it's easy to catch that. But kick correct. Have your kick like a whip. Then you can kick any man and with no repercussion. You can't catch a whip. And that's what we saw.
I'm just looking forward to that fight again.
He could not catch it. He couldn't understand what was happening. He was hitting the shot. He was trying to catch and his senses were off. They were hitting him that quick.
You actually, at one point, bought your dad a boat called 188. What does the name of that boat signify?
The 188 is it was the amount I used to collect on the social welfare. So when I got a boat, I named it the 188 after the amount I used to collect, just to always remind myself of where I came from and what I've achieved. I think it's important to pay respect and pay homage to where you came from, and always remember it.
I don't think there's nobody in the game that has the fight IQ that I have to figure out situations, to figure out the route to victory. And you cannot understand that until you're in there with me and you're gasping for breath and you're looking for an escape. But I'm constantly there. I'm there, but I'm not there. So I feel I'm ahead of the game. So that's it. What a day. Beautiful Dublin City.
This is not normal, right? Everyone keeps telling me that this is unseasonably warm and nice for Dublin, right?
Yeah, no, this is just a beautiful summer's day. You know, they come few and far between, but when they get here, you know, Dublin is a beautiful city. And you know, driving up and down the quays yesterday to the media day, and just appreciating the surroundings. I think it's important that you put a conscious effort into appreciating your surroundings, and that's what I do with this place. I absolutely love this city. And even, you know what, I was thinking a lot about Normal Park yesterday after that thing happened, where he was saying about Northern Ireland, and it's a disgrace, and it's this and it's that. It's a negative thing towards your home nation or whatever, you know, but that's not the right way to be. You need to have you need to appreciate your surroundings and be grateful for it, and that's when good things happen. You know, if they have that bitterness and that negativity, then things start going bad. You know what I mean? So I think the fact that I have them thoughts and the fact that I appreciate everything and I'm grateful for the things around me and the way things are going, that's why it's going so good for me.
First time I ever met you, you told me that you were going to bring the UFC back. And back then, I mean, Dublin, the fans were crazy. They were asking Dana every chance they could.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really on the radar. There was no big star. There wasn't a Gustafsson arena like it happened in Sweden. Now here we are, 17 months later.
17 months, wow.
And we're standing right in front of the arena that you said.
Did I give a number now?
Here's the interesting thing. On that same show, on that episode, the MMA Hour, Gary Cook said it would be 18 months.
All right.
He did it in 17.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I remember that episode very, very well. You know, that's the first time I ever spoke. That's phenomenal, that is right there. Yeah.
And now here we are.
Yeah.
In front of that arena.
You know, if you have a clear picture in your head of something is going to happen, a clear belief in that it will happen no matter what, then nothing can stop it. I mean, it is destined to happen, and that's what happens. You know, it's perfect.
Let's go check out the arena.
Let's do it.
This way. You know, you said you remember that first time. That was February of 2013 when you fought Marcus Brevich, before you fought Brevich.
Yeah.
It had been talked about that you were on welfare and things like that. How bad was it before you at that point?
Yeah, you know, I was on social welfare, man. It was just, I was not a normal young man, you know, in Ireland. Had no job. Didn't really know, you know, just chasing a dream. But it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't as bad as some, you know, people have a lot worse. You know, I got by, you know what I mean? I got by, I could stretch it. I could stretch a 10 off until fucking weeks, you know what I mean? But, I mean, mom and dad helped me out as well, you know, if I was ever stuck or anything like really bad.
Right.
They helped me out, and yeah, I did all right, you know, I got by.
But to have these clear goals and these visions and these dreams while being kind of stuck in the mud for a minute, it takes a lot of foresight.
Yeah, you know.
How did you develop that? Were you always like that, or was there a point where you were like, this is all going to happen to me, I just need to stick with it?
Yeah, you know, like when you're like 23, 24, you're a man basically, you know what I mean? And I had no job, if this didn't go ahead, then what had I got? Nothing. You know, that definitely weighs on you at times. You know what I mean? That as a man, you have no money, you're relying on other people for support. You know, I didn't want to be doing that. You know, that's always a fear that's in your head. You know what I mean? But you just have to. I suppose you just have to outwork that. You have to outwork that fear, outwork that doubt. And that's what I done, you know. Anytime I was feeling like, anytime something was going wrong in my life, or anytime I felt down, I'd hit the gym, and that was that. And the gym would make me feel better, you know. So I kept hitting the gym, I kept going to the gym every day, and then it got me there, you know. Eventually, it just happened.
I was talking to some friends of yours yesterday, at least they claim to be your friends, high school friends of yours.
Yeah.
And they were saying that, you know, they all went into different jobs, good paying jobs back in. They were always wondering, like, what's Connor doing? What is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, he's not making any money. He's fighting on these local shows. They were starting to get a little worried about you. They believed in you, but there was a point where they actually started to doubt you.
Yeah.
Sense that a lot for people? Like, they were saying, well, come on, when are you going to give this up?
Yeah, I don't know. That's the whole thing you just said sounds real American. I don't think the Irish would be. I don't think they were my friends that were saying. Everybody talking shit, but who knows? There's a lot of people going around saying they are my friends, or saying they know me from this, or they live next door, or do this or do that. You know, but really, you know, I don't have that many friends. I have a close circle of people that I talk to. You know, I don't have many numbers in my phone. Not many. I'd say I could count on two hands the amount of people that have my phone number.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I have a small circle. I don't like to. You know, everyone's coming out of woodwork lately. You know what I mean? People
old faces, right?
That kind of thing. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Right?
That type of stuff happens. But you know what I mean?
How do you weed out the people who aren't there with the right intentions?
I just don't pay attention. I just don't entertain it. You know what I mean? I just listen to the people that are close to me. Listen to my family. Listen to my friends. Listen to my team. And then that's it. Nobody else exists. Absolutely nobody else exists. I'm just tunnel vision on this pattern. Anyone that tries to come in and steer me away from it, I don't know what it is, but they just go then, you know. I just end up getting rid of them or something. You know?
In the last 17 months since this all has happened to you, since coming to the UFC, have you slipped up at all? You know, have you? You say the right things all the time, but has there been a moment where you're like, oh, my head got a little too big here, or I went with the wrong crew here? Have you done it? Because on paper, it looks like you've done everything right, except for the injury. That's the only black market. You say that you're back better, but has there been any slip up?
You know, a young guy going out partying for a while, you know, definitely. Of course, you know, especially with the injury, I definitely had a few nights out. I was like, you know what, fuck this. I don't want to do this type of shit anymore. And then, but whatever, like I said before, one thing that gives me that tunnel vision is preparing for this. So when I got the all clear that the fight was going ahead, that I was back to grapple, I was back to box. Everything just, I just shut out everything. I just shut out everything. And it gives me that tunnel vision. That's why I need to do this almost. I don't know what would happen if this wasn't here. I don't even want to think about that. You know what I mean?
Were you afraid for a second with the injury that it might go away?
Yeah. You know, I wouldn't say afraid, because I knew I could conquer. You know, George conquered it. That was a big inspiration for me, because I saw how he conquered it, and I spoke with him before I went to the surgery, so I had a good idea of how it went. And then I also had a competition, you know what I mean? Because I heard his little loop, and then I had competition. I was always asking, how's George doing? Where's George at? Mm-hmm. And that kept me going, gave me confidence that I'm on track to come back better than ever.
We're actually going into the arena right now. And what's fascinating about this is, as we're walking, we'll go this way, as we're walking, we have truck drivers. People as far as honking at you. The people, that is the people, right? And I always like to say that, you know, you're fighting the people's main event. This is the people's card. You represent the people. And yesterday, talking to some kids, I was talking to kids who were 10 years old. Why do you like this guy so much? Because he gives us hope, they said. He reminds me of, this is someone who came from where I live now, you know, from the streets. Someone who, you know, this kid says he doesn't have much. He's just on his bike. He didn't even know that you were in the media workout. But when I said your name, you're the only fighter he knows. And he said that you give him hope. How do you react to that?
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I don't know how I react to that. That's a weird one, you know. I don't like to. That used to freak me out, to be honest, because I'm not trying to be, you know, I'm not trying to be a role model. You know, I'm still.
You don't want to be.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to. I don't know what I want to be. I don't want to be anything. I just want to be me. But it's definitely. I mean, it's a great thing. It is a great thing to be able to inspire kids and show them another path. Like the way the setup now is at our gym. We have this Grown Gorillas program. It's called, where it's like they bring in these kids and they train them up, and not only are the kids showing up, their parents are showing up, and their parents are encouraging them to go down this route. That's something that's phenomenal. But it makes me, at the end of the day, I gotta get in and I gotta beat these people up. You know, and I gotta show no mercy to these people. So if I was to think about young kids looking up to me and then have to think about
ending this guy's dreams, because ultimately that's what this game is about. You know what I mean? It's two guys going in there and looking to end one another's dreams. You know what I mean? It's not. So I can't focus on that role model stuff when I've got to do this as well. You know, it's a weird kind of thing to think about. So I just don't like to think about it.
Detach yourself
I just
from it.
detach myself from it. I just carry on and don't put any thought into it. I just carry on.
There's a little kid named Nate. He says he trains with you.
Mhm.
I think he's 7 years old, 6 years
Yeah.
old. He said that
Yeah.
he's going to be the youngest champion. He was talking
Yeah,
like you.
exactly.
He was making the same
Yeah.
proclamation.
Yeah.
But that doesn't affect you at all. You just say.
I mean, yeah, it's beautiful to see, and I know the kid Nate. You know, he's a Irish kickboxing champion, and he's a jiu-jitsu champion. He's a phenomenal kid. He's down in the gym every single day. His parents are down in the gym every single day. They're basically part of the furniture down there. You know, so this is what I'm talking about.
Speaks exactly like you.
I mean, this is brilliant. But at the end of the day, I don't like to think too much about it, because then, you know, it's a weird thing to go from being like trying to be a role model to someone and then have to get into the frame where I need to take this guy's life away. You know what I mean? Because that's the mind frame I am in here right now. This week I felt like I want to hurt this guy badly. You know, I felt differently than before. You know, especially now, one day before weigh-ins, I want to whoop him bad. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be thinking about being a role model. You know what I mean? I'm only 20. I'm 20. Only going 26.
You said this is the first time you felt this way. How did you feel in other fights?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's something different this time.
Is it the setting?
Yeah, I think it's everything. Exactly. I think it's the comeback. And the fact that everybody been talking, including Diego.
We'll get to him in a second, but the last time, I know you did a brief media thing there, but the last time you were actually a fan in this building was UFC 93.
I was sitting right over there.
Where, on the left side?
Right over that far side, yeah.
You were just a fan?
Yeah, I was just a fan. Well, yeah, my teammate Tom Egan was also just a fan, but he happened to be fighting on it. You know
He
what I
got
mean?
the call to represent.
A little bit too early, we got the call.
He fought John Hathaway, he lost. Was that devastating to watch?
Of course, you know, anytime you see a teammate lose, it's heartbreaking, you know, but it was more, you can either let it eat you up, or you can eat it up. You can eat up the information that you gain from it, and that's what I've done. I realized like that this is attainable, and the dream is just when I sat here in this crowd, UFC 93, and saw all these guys, you know, I realized it's there for the taking if I put the time in. And that's when I probably upped that focus a little bit and upped that intensity and then made it happen.
Who was that Conor McGregor? Who was that kid back in 2009?
The same kid, a cocky kid that thought he could do anything. Same guy.
There's a great picture of you from that event with Chuck Liddell.
It was actually it was actually an event before that.
Oh, was it?
Oh no, it was actually an event after that. Sorry, yeah, it was. Oh no, it was an event before that. Yeah, my very first one was UFC 85. But like that was just But Tom, no Irish guy was near. He talked about on the UFC. There was UFC 93 that made the decision because there was an Irish guy on the card. He was in Ireland. That was the first realization that, you know what, it's there. For UFC 85, Tom Egan got a chance of tickets, I don't know how, and we ended up going over to London, and that was where I first met
That was your first event?
That was my first event, yeah, that's when I met Chuck, yeah.
And you're pouring him in like this again.
We were sitting up like way back, me and him, and we were like, Chuck, and he turned around, looked up, and then started walking over. Me and Tom looked at each other, I was like, he's walking over. So we just sprinted down to the barrier. And like as he was on over, there was a lot of other people walking over. I just jumped to the head of the thing. I was like, but you know, there was 50 people taking pictures, so I had to like lean over the thing. I was like, I asked him to throw a right hook to my hand, I'll catch it, but he just walked off. I said, throw a right hook, I'll catch it. You know, because his right hook was a beast, and I wanted to pat it. Oh, he walked off.
Did you tell him anything?
No, it literally happened in a split second, but I seen Bruce Buffer, and that was the same event I saw Bruce Buffer. I got. Yeah, I tell you, the events are phenomenal. The events give the fans, you know, look, I'm just a fan that from sitting in these events, got the urge to go and chase the dream. And now I'm on the opposite side of the thing, and fans are calling me over. But no, that event I saw Bruce Buffer as well, and I was like, Bruce, say my name, Bruce. You know, and he pronounced it wrong as he was like walking away. Call him, but yeah.
And now here
yeah, it's phenomenal. I mean, it's crazy to think like it.
This doesn't happen often.
What doesn't happen often?
These things don't happen often. People
Yeah.
say things people dream, but it's very
Yeah,
rare for it to all come to fruition.
It is pretty trippy, alright. I mean, like, to think that I said this to you before I'd even had my debut, that I was going to drag them back, and now here we are. Before the time that was set, the estimated time, now we're back here, you know what I mean? It's crazy how things just form, dreams just form into reality.
Let's take it all in. Let's have a seat. I know you could, you know, when you watch this, and not trying to pour more on, but when you watch this, you recognize that probably this event would be sold out if it was just Conor McGregor versus Diego Brandao, no one else on the card. This is all here for you.
Yeah, I believe
it's not just UFC's
Mm-hmm.
return to Ireland. You recognize that, right?
Yeah, I believe that, yeah. I believe in Ireland. In Ireland, I'm probably bigger than the UFC. Like, there's a big diehard following for the UFC, but with the way the injury happened, and then like doing these talk shows, and then the documentary came out, and then a lot of people know me for outside of it than inside of it. You know what I mean? So this is the first time that a lot of people that will be here tonight will be first timers, people that have never been to an event before. So it's brilliant that they ask, and then this is where it's going to take over their life, like it took over my life from sitting in a live event. So it's brilliant to be a part of it.
Do you think if you weren't a fan sitting here in January of 2009, you know, Dana White likes to talk about it's like a virus. They come to a place for the first.
It literally is.
Did it affect you that way?
Yeah, 100%.
Would you not have gone for this dream had you not attended that event?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's hard to say, but when I was a kid, I always visualize stadiums and like, even when I was playing football, I'd kick the ball against the wall and I'd pretend I scored a goal, and I'd run off and I'd be raising my hand and visualizing an arena full of fans. And that was something I'd done as a kid out on my own. I like just running around kicking the ball. I always had these visions of something, but I just didn't know what it was. And then I suppose when I came to these events and I started training them, and then came to an event, I was like, okay, this is it. This is what I'm going to do. And then, now I'm doing it.
I was watching an interview recently with you and your coach, John Kavanagh, who, would it be fair to say that he's one of your best friends?
Yeah,
he's one of those guys with your number, right?
Yeah, he's in the small circle.
He's been with you for a long time, but there was a point where you guys kind of drifted apart, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, what happened was I was fighting on a show, and I had lost my very first loss. I was only a kid when I never really grappled or anything. I was only in the sport recently. I was basically a boxer. I just came in, didn't really think. I had this left hook, and I thought, look, I thought this left hook, no one's going to take this left hook. And then I got caught in a leg lock. And then I was like, you know what, fuck this game. And I was only young as well at the time, so I never no really plans of doing anything with it. You know, I was just kind of in and out. And I drifted off. But at the same time, that tickets I had sold for the event, I owed to John, because it was his little show. But when I was selling tickets, I was getting like €30 and just passing them. I was just, before I knew all the money was gone, I'd sold all the tickets and spent all the money. So I had done that, then I'd lost. I was like, all right, let's move away somewhere else.
What did you spend it on?
It was like 20 quid a ticket or something. I don't know. When I was getting, I had like 100 tickets or something. You know, when you get 20 quid and then you get, next thing you know, you have to buy a roll or a bit. You know what I mean? And before you know it, it's gone. And then that's basically what happened. So I was like, right, I'm not going to go back then. And then John never forces anything. John will never go to you and say, do you want to fight? Never will he ask a person, do you want to fight? He'll wait for them to come to him. So he'll never force anything. If you don't want to do nothing, then you don't do it. John just lets things happen naturally. So that's what happened. I drifted off naturally, he drifted off naturally, and then Tom got the call. While I was out messing about, you know what I mean, whatever else I was doing, and Tom was training, and Tom got the call. When around that time the UFC came back and Tom got the call. And then my mother rang John to come up to the house and say she wants me to get back training. He's not doing anything. He's sitting in the house and all this shit.
What were you doing? You were just sitting at home?
Yeah, I was doing nothing. I was just a teenager.
Were you causing trouble?
Yeah, out with my friends doing stupid shit, you know what I mean? And then, or at home doing nothing, sleeping, whatever. But then my mother said she wants me to. I didn't even know about it. She rang John and said that she wants me to get. She said to John, I want him to get back training. Will you bring him back and all this?
And my mother at the time didn't even know Tom got signed either. It hadn't even been announced yet. And then all of a sudden I'm in my room and I knock on the door and it was John. Comes into the thing, we had a mad heartfelt talk and we said, look, we can go and do it. Tom said they're getting signed. I'd like you to come back. Let's chase it. And then that was that. I rang Tom. And then that was that. You know,
so it's your mother that
yeah, definitely. My mother definitely.
If she doesn't make that call, you probably don't come back.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I probably would have just went back and paid. I don't know what would have happened. Who knows? But yeah, definitely my mother. I love my mother very much, and I mean she's been, like I said, when I was chasing this dream and had no job and I was collecting social, my mother would have. If ever I was like in real sick, my mom would come and help me out. You know what I mean? Everyone's.
It's a beautiful thing.
A beautiful thing. The Irish mother. There's nothing like an Irish mother. Yeah, they look after their sons. And my dad always slags her over, you know, and jeers her over because, like compared to an English mother, he always compares them. No, my mom looked after me if I was ever stuck, or if I was ever in trouble, or maybe even I was in the wrong. My mom would still think I was in the right. You know what I mean? I still campaign that I was in the right. So no, my mother definitely reached out there and got in touch with John, and then John, of course, got in touch with me. You know what I mean? It was a perfect storm. Everything was perfect. The fact that I went through these thoughts as well, like, early enough. But I was already thinking about what I was going to do early. You know what I mean? Like, what? I'm going to be like 20, I'm going to be 25, 26, 27, sponging off people and be like, fuck all, you know what I mean?
What would you have done?
Who knows? I haven't a clue.
Weren't you working in the plumbing business?
I was working in the plumbing business at the time, yeah, but I'm trying to think. It would have been around that time that John. Last year, I'd left the plumbing business. I left the plumbing business.
How bad was that?
The plumbing?
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Were you actually in the trenches?
I mean, it was an industrial. Ooh. So it'd be like building this. It'd be like the plumbing that would be needed in a place like this. 6 o'clock in the morning, and the motorway. And I used to have to walk for about an hour to get to the motorway, and then I'd stand on the edge of the motorway and wait for a bloke to drive by. So he gave me a lift, and then the motorway was like getting renovation at the time, so it'd take me 2.5 hours to get to the place. I was out in the country, then I'd be there for 10 hours walking, and I was a first year, so I was the worst of the worst, and I was on the beginning. Then 2 hours to get back in the traffic again. It was just a horrible time, and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this, and then I just left, and then I just stopped going, didn't get out of bed. Then my dad would come in and try and bank me out of bed, and we'd have fights, and literally for a good while I never spoke. I didn't really speak to my dad. We just kind of stayed away from each other. Anytime I come across my dad, anytime we did speak was to fight.
You lived in his house?
Yeah, I was only 18, 17, 18.
But you didn't talk to him? Isn't that kind of awkward?
Yeah, well, not like it wasn't whatever, you know.
You didn't have just a deep relationship?
Yeah, not yet. No, but since this has happened,
right.
Since the dream has happened, since the vision that I had has come true, and like he went through a tough time as well because he got testicular cancer, so he got sick and all over. And in my head I was thinking maybe I done that because he's worried about me, doesn't know what I'm going to do, and all these fights that were happening all the time. And like, I'm talking full on fights. You come in and punch it, and we're going at it. Yeah, we're going at it.
You're punching back.
Well, yeah, we're going at it. Yeah.
Wow. What did your mom say about that? He's so protective of you.
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know. It was just she just stayed out, you know, but. But
why did he get to that point where he was that mad?
Because I was doing absolutely nothing. I was out getting into trouble. Yeah, basically felt like I was doing fuck all. I was a waster. You know, I was a waster. Got called that a lot. You know what I mean? But now, like, and then when I start getting that focus and realize, no, fuck, I'm gonna make this happen. And then now that has happened, I'm making it happen. I have a great relationship with my dad. Like, we talk all the time, and I even see energy in him, and I see energy in my mind. Like, it's depressing times for a lot of people around. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the country. A lot of people are struggling. Everybody's struggling. But now, since them seeing me chase this dream, it's giving them an energy, and I see a new lease of life in them, and that alone spurs me on even more. So it's all just a perfect storm that's happening for me, and that is why I have this tunnel vision, and that is why I'm willing to kill every single man in my path to get that belt. You know what I mean? To secure the future, from my family's future. You know what I mean? That's what I'm doing for.
Will they be here on Saturday?
They'll be here on Saturday night. Yeah.
They went to Boston, right?
They went to Boston.
I think they were on TV holding the flag, right?
Now now they're famous. Now they think they're famous. You know what I mean? My dad is floating around like. But honestly, it's phenomenal to see. Like it's uplifting to see that. You know, to come out, my dad being depressed and being sick, and then coming through, and now he's like fucking flying around the place. It's phenomenal.
How is he now, as far as his health?
Yeah, he's good. He had the surgery.
How long ago was that?
It was a couple of years ago now. Yeah.
Well, but he's okay now.
Yeah, he's good now.
How did you react to that?
I just stayed away. I didn't know what way to react. I just kind of stayed away from it because we were going through our shit as well. And I didn't know what way to react to it. I just stayed away, basically. I didn't know what way to.
You didn't get too scared. You weren't scared. You just tried to.
I mean, yeah, of course you're scared. Of course you're scared. You know what I mean? But I was in a place where I just kept it to myself and just bottled it up and just carried on. Didn't really want to think about it. You know what I mean? But he got better, and thank God he got better. You know what I mean? But and now I see that him seeing me fulfill my dreams and make a living for myself. Because regardless of what happens from here on in, I've done all right. I've secured myself. You know, I've probably made more money. By the time this fight is done, Saturday night, I'll have made more money than I would have made my whole life working as a plumber. So I've done all right, you know, and I've seen him, and I think that gives him peace of mind. You know what I mean? And I feel that it does.
When you talk about those sold-out arenas and you used to pretend that you were, you know, a superstar and people were coming to see you, how far did that feel when you were driving 2 hours to go work? I mean, that must have been a different universe.
Course.
Were you still thinking about that?
Of course, because you have to do that. You have to battle with this. This is the law of attraction. You know? You have to, in the struggle, you know, when things are going good and you visualize these good things happen, you visualize more good things happen, that's easy. What's not easy to do is when things are going bad and you're visualizing the good stuff. And that was what I was able to do. I was able to, you know, even though I was having these troubles at home, even though I had no job, you know what I mean, or whatever, didn't know what I was doing. If it didn't happen, it didn't happen. But I still was able to feel like it was. I was still able to go into a different, just like use my imagination, like a kid would use his imagination. I was basically just using my imagination, driving a little my girlfriend's car, that Peugeot 206, and I was driving back, shaking down the road, and I visualised that, and I swear to God, sitting in the traffic and all, I visualised, I'm sitting here on the steering wheel, visualising a brand new car, visualising good things in times of struggle, and that, when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more, you know what I mean, because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualize these things.
When you were a youngster walking to school, going home and whatnot, is it not true that people used to pick on you? But that's kind of what spurred it on. We used to walk around with I think like a weight in your backpack and things like that to kind of fend them off.
Yeah, definitely walking. You know, I've definitely been in the phase. I got jumped a couple of times when I was growing up.
Were you alone?
No, I was surrounded by people who maybe were I thought were my friends at the time, and then you get jumped by a group of people, and then you know what, they're not my fucking friends. But
why were they jumping on you? That's the way life is.
That's the way life is. Kids, boys grow up, boys fight on the street. That's the way it is. You play football and you fight. You go out and get into trouble in these urban areas, these suburban sprawls. You know, it's not. That's the way it is. You get into these fights, and that was the way it was for me. I got into these fights a lot, but maybe when it happened to me, when I was getting into this, I drifted out and it was in my head. It was in my head a lot more. You know, I didn't just forget about it and carry on. And it stood in my head. It stuck in my head. You know, that if it happens again, I'm gonna be able to defend myself. And then, you know, going back and forth to school a couple of times, I seen walking by a group of people got chased out. That happened a few times, so I ended up sticking a bar in my bag and just being prepared. You know what I mean? But
is that what got you into martial arts?
Yeah, 100%. Just to be able to defend myself. And not even to be able to defend myself, just to be comfortable for when it happened, that I was comfortable, that I was able to assess the situation and deal with it the way it needed to be dealt with. Like even when I first started training, and it was time to spar. When it was the first days I ever sparred, and when I was driving to the gym and I knew it was sparring day, and I'd get this nervous feeling, and I'd be thinking in my head, this is perfect. This is the feeling that I have felt before when these situations have happened. And then I go to the gym and then I spar and then I come through and I feel energized. So I said, and I always think in my head, now I'm getting more comfortable. Actually, what I was doing, if it didn't happen, but I still was able to feel like it was. I still was able to go into a different, just like use my imagination, like a kid would use his imagination. I was basically just using my like people to a 6 a.m. driving back, shaking down the road, and I visualized that. And I swear to God, sitting in the traffic and all, I visualized. I'm sitting here on the steering wheel, visualizing a brand new car, and visualizing good things in times of struggle. And that when you can do that, I think that really makes that law of attraction work. I think it really attracts to you more. You know what I mean? Because that is harder to do when you're in the struggle to visualize these things.
When you were a youngster, walking to school, going home, and whatnot, is it not true that people used to pick on you? But that's kind of what spurred it on. We used to walk around with I think like a weight in your backpack and things like that to kind of fend them off.
Yeah, definitely walking.
Would they beat you up?
Yeah, no, you know, I've definitely got into fights. I got jumped a couple of times, when I was growing up.
Were you alone?
No, I was surrounded by people who maybe I thought were my friends at the time, you know, but then you get jumped by a group of people, and then you know what, they're not my fucking friends. But
why were they jumping on you? Is it just that's the way life is?
That's the way life is. Kids, boys grow up, boys fight on the street. That's the way it is. You play football and you fight. You go out and get into trouble in these urban areas, these suburban sprawls. You know, it's not. That's the way it is. You get into these fights, and that was the way it was for me. I got into these fights a lot, but maybe when it happened to me, or when I was getting into fights, I drifted up and was in my head. It was in my head a lot more. You know, I didn't just forget about it and carry on, and it stood in my head. It stuck in my head. You know that if it happens again, I'm gonna be able to defend myself. And then, you know, going back and forth to school a couple of times, I was seen walking by a group of people, got chased. That happened a few times, so I ended up sticking a bar in my bag and just being prepared. You know what I mean? But
is that what got you into martial arts?
Yeah, 100%. Just to be able to defend myself. And not even to be able to defend myself, just to be comfortable for when it happened, that I was comfortable, that I was able to assess the situation and deal with it the way it needed to be dealt with. Like even when I first started training, I was time to spar. When I was the first days I ever sparred, and when I was driving to the gym and I knew it was sparring day, and I'd get this nervous feeling, and I'd be thinking in my head, this is perfect. This is the feeling that I have felt before when these situations have happened. And then I go to the gym and then I spar and then I come through and I feel energized. So I said, and I always think in my head, now I'm getting more comfortable. Now if it happens or when it happens, I'm going to be comfortable now. And then I eventually got to the stage where sparring wasn't enough. Then I needed to compete. And then when you compete for the first time, then you get that real, even more nervous energy and that feeling. And then even then I was like, right, now I'm set. You know what I mean? But then eventually it drifted from that. It drifted from them thoughts of defending myself to, you know what, I'm good at this, and it's actually something that I really enjoy doing. And when I do it and when I put myself in these uncomfortable situations and come through it, I get this energy that I don't get from anything else. But I kept doing it, and then it's an addiction. Then it took over. Then everything else blacked out around it. You know what I mean? And now there's nothing else that matters to me. I don't know about nothing else. I can't be, like I said, it's not like that press conference. I don't really watch films or TV. I watch videos of training. I watch videos of jiu-jitsu. I watch videos of wrestling. I watch videos of kickboxing or taekwondo. You know, that's what I watch when I'm wrestling.
Who inspires you?
I don't know who inspires me. Just people who go against the odds, I suppose. You know, people who do stuff that hasn't been done before, and people who do stuff that people say they can't do. That inspires me. Hard workers, people that are chasing their dream no matter what people are saying, no matter what people think. That I take inspiration from that.
When you were a kid, you never had a hero, someone you wanted to be like?
Yeah, when I was a young kid, I used to tell me, when I was a little boy, I used to say to my mom, when I grow up, I want to be Superman. That was what I used to say to her. And every Christmas, I'd say, get me everything Superman. And then I'd wake up Christmas morning and be like a load of little Superman things. Like it'd be like a Superman head, a Superman lamp. I used to have like this. Then the next year it was Batman. I want to be Batman. I want to grow up to be Batman. And then I'd say, get me everything Batman. I had this Batman lamp, and it was it was unbelievable. It was like a big, huge Batman. I was like a side thing. I clicked the button and it lit up. I had that in my room.
Always superheroes.
Yeah. Action Man. Remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
I used to love Action Man, yeah.
But
I never even thought about Action Man.
These are all fictional characters.
Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
Is that the way you...
This is young now, we're talking young. As I got older then, I was Muhammad Ali, Bruce Lee, I started watching all these type of things, and then as I got older, that was where the way it panned out. Well, still, I'm not, it's not as if I'm fucking 50. We're talking like I'm 50 years old or something. It's still like Bruce Lee, it's all of that. But younger, it was like Batman, Superman, Action Man. I used to go into the room and play with these Action Man, or wrestling as well, wrestlers as well.
Pro wrestlers.
Yeah, we're probably going year to year here. Like Superman, maybe then Batman, then Action Man, then wrestlers.
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, The Rock, Stone Cold. That was my era. You know what I mean?
I forgot how young you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
I'm happy you mentioned Ali because you sell the fight very well. You sell yourself very well. And a lot of people, we post interviews with you and they say, "Oh, he's trying to beat Chael Sonnen." But I think there's a difference.
Yeah, no.
I don't see, and I'm not putting him down, but there's a big difference between you two. Did you study people? Did you study the way Ali sold fights? Because there's an art to that. What you do, there's an art to this.
Yeah, I don't like stage stuff. I can't do stage stuff. When someone gets me to do stage stuff, I literally freeze up, and it feels awkward to me. Like, don't get me wrong, if we're doing like them ads and stuff, or like some sort of movie or something, that's fun. I'm having fun doing that. But like with the stage, something that's supposed to be real, that's weird to me, and I don't like doing that. So I'm sure from watching the wrestling, I'm watching Muhammad Ali and listening to Bruce Lee, and I've taken some, and Chael Sonnen, because I've taken something from it. But I'm not coming in here with stage stuff, and I never feel comfortable when that happens. You know what I mean? I just don't like that. It's not. I'm not the same as Chael. I don't fight the same. I don't think the same. We are different people. I am my own man. I'm different than everyone's unique. You know what I mean? You take, like Bruce Lee said, you take from everyone, and you use what is useful, and you discard what is not, and you add what is uniquely your own. That's a famous Bruce Lee quote, and I suppose that's what I'm doing, without even realizing, unconsciously, arts.
But do you recognize the fact that there is an art to selling fights? Like, if you just showed up, no tattoos, shaved head, how you used to look before, and you didn't say much, people wouldn't have the same attraction to you.
Maybe, but again, I am who I am from just who I am. It's just the way I am. I'm always going to be like that. It was never like planned to that. I always knew when I got here I was going straight for the jugular. I was going straight for everyone's neck. You know what I mean? I wasn't waiting around. As soon as I got the chance, I knew some guys get to the UFC and they're not actually ready. You shouldn't be in the UFC if you're not. If the title isn't in your thoughts. And there's a lot of people that are in the UFC that haven't got the belt on their mind. So I knew straight away, I wasn't going to be that guy. I'd rather shoot and miss than not shoot at all. That's fear. That's what fears me. So I knew as soon as they gave me one chance, I was going to take it by the scruff of the neck and drag them back. You know what I mean? And go at every single one of them, because I knew when I got the chance, I was ready. And as my T-shirt says, I stay ready. Dtron.com. $8 international shipping fee to get from America to your door in Ireland. That is an absolute bargain, my friend. We're working on a store as well.
Really?
A big store in
Ireland?
In Ireland, it's going to be on one of the major retail streets in Ireland. So that I wanted it up before the fight, and it was going ahead before the fight. But there was so much going on, it didn't go ahead. But I'm looking to get this store up and running, Dtron. To expand the brand. I think this is a great brand, a lifestyle apparel brand that I believe can grow. The funding is there to make it grow. The vision is there, you know what I mean, as well. So let's see how it plays out. But that is something I definitely want to do as well. Brand, and these things just happen. I never planned to do this type of stuff. Now all of a sudden I'm designing clothes. Who would have thought that type of shit? I have a line of suits. I'm in talks with bringing out a line of suits with the Louis Copeland, who makes my suits. We're bringing out my own line of suits.
You're selling chips, crisps.
I'm going to have a line of suits. I'm going to have my own store, Dtron store. I'm selling cribs, as you say.
How'd that happen? That's a big deal, right?
Yeah, that is a big deal. It's one of the biggest crisps in the country. King Crisps. They're owned by Largo Foods. It's one of they nearly run the crisp game in the country. But they had this. How it came about was they had an ad that was in the 1980s or something, or maybe like it was an old ad, but it never aired because there was cursing in it. But it was the fuck. They say fucking, but on the fuck they crunch a crisp, but it didn't air. But it came to surface again. They were like, that's a really good ad or something. And then they were like, who could we use for this ad? And then there's me on national TV cursing every 2 seconds, where people are saying, can't do that. I'm like, which you can't insert. You know, it's not good to do that either. You know, but it got me that job. So that's how that came about.
Did that increase your profile here?
I'd say it did. You know, it all combined. I don't think one thing said. It's just
the perfect storm.
It's the perfect storm, exactly.
That show that you're on, I've watched it a couple times, the Late Late Show.
Do you know what I haven't forgot about either? My restaurant, Shredded Joe's. I want to do that. I still have that in my head. I want to make it. I want to make it like have like two sides. I want to have like a good, healthy fighter style diet, and then of course like regular, you know, just regular food, but like have it in a kind of a sports bar feel. And I want to get like a late bar license, and have I want to have UFC memorabilia all over the place. I want to have every UFC event playing, and it's open late because the UFCs are on late night over here. So I want to have a place. This is, if you want to come watch UFC and eat food late night, this is the place to go. A bar, everything.
So what are you waiting for?
Well, there's a lot going on, and I've got a store here, and a shop here, and I've got clothes and it's all coming on. But I'm on top of it. Again, I have a good team. I have a good management team behind me, and I have a team in Orange County, and I have a team over here with Hunter Communications. So it's building. Like you said, the entourage is building. There's more and more people following me around, but I'm careful who I let in. You have to earn your way in with me. You know what I mean? So, but I feel great right now. Things are just growing and growing and growing.
Yeah, it's fascinating. When I did one of these videos with Rampage in Japan, it was pretty much just me and him. You've got a posse of like 15. I have 3 different camera crews. I mean, you're used to that at this point, I would imagine, right?
It's getting a hell of a lot easier. Like that last time, like you said, you also at Late Late Show. That last time on the Late Late Show, I actually felt, because the first 2 times on the Late Late Show, especially
that's a big deal too, right?
Yeah, that's huge. Especially the second one. The second one, because the first one I was with Cahill, we were together, we had a bit of buzz. The second one I was on my own, and like they ring you the night or the week before, and they have this conversation with you, and then when you get there, they're like, okay, we want to talk about this, this, and this, and it's talked about that. It's basically a repeat of what you said on the phone. And I didn't like that because it's weird. It's weird to say something and then like have to say it again. Like
a pre-interview.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Like when me and you ring and we're just talking right now. We're just talking like nothing. But then the third time, the most recent time when I went on, that didn't really happen. We just I actually felt comfortable with the guy Ryan. You know, Ryan Tuberty is like the head presenter in the country. I actually felt comfortable with him, and we were at the building like nearly a little relationships, and we had a bit of crack that last week. So I definitely feel I'm getting more comfortable with it. But it's something you have to get accustomed to. Even when the cameras were following me around in Iceland, and I had the team of fighters with me in the house, when the cameras were there, everyone's like freezes up. Everyone runs away. You know, it's funny what a little camera can do. It's a weird when you put a camera into a room and how it makes people react. It is a weird thing, and I've noticed that now, seeing how other people react when a camera is around. But now I'm getting I don't even notice it really anymore now. Yeah.
You know, all this, right? What is happening on Saturday is a sample size of your success. You know, all these people are coming here to support you. But as you know, there are a lot of people who don't want to support you. You know, like when we posted our interview yesterday, you predicted you're going to be a champion by the end of 2014. You know how much hate you received for that? How dare this guy? The audacity, the balls on this guy. Do you read that stuff?
I don't read that stuff, you know. But this is the fight game. If you can't, you need to be bulletproof to be in this game. In your mind needs to be bulletproof. You need to be able to take anything that is thrown your way. And I'm not talking about just punches, kicks, and you know what I mean. It needs to be verbal as well. You need to be able to take everything. It's part and parcel of the game. I expect it, so I'm cool with it. if anything, it spurs me on to keep going, you know. But ultimately, I focus on the support. I focus on my small team, and the rest, love or hate, you know what I mean? Love me, hate me, pay me. That's all I'm here for.
Do you feel like there are more people rooting for you to succeed, or rooting for you to fail now? Because you're so brash, because you make these proclamations.
I'd say it's a good 50-50. I really would say it's a good 50-50, to be honest. But
it's funny the way your fellow fighters in your division react to you.
Yeah.
At this point, it's almost like when we bring you up to them, it's almost impossible not to.
Yeah.
They don't want to say your name.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, and I swear to God, right? I've shared the card twice with Diego Brandao. We fought in Sweden and we fought in Boston. And he's a tough guy. He has a tough guy mentality, a peasant mentality, a bully mentality. He walks around, you know what I mean? I just noticed that in the last two. This time he's in a shell. This time he hasn't opened his mouth. This time he won't look me in the eye. When I looked at him the other day at that open workout, I saw a broken man. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I honestly feel that they know it's inevitable. They know it deep down, it's inevitable. And Saturday night they'll know even more.
You can feel that when you see him?
100%. I can feel it when I look into every one of them.
Has there been a guy in the UFC's featherweight division that you feel actually respects you in that sense, where this guy, I need to prove this guy wrong? You know what I mean? Like you said that you talked to Cub Swanson yesterday, and you said they're going to get a look at a real number one contender, and he kind of, you made it, I don't know if that's what he really said back. What did he say back to you?
He was like, keep going, you might get up for me or something. I said, keep going, you might get up at me or something. I don't know what he said, but he's like, you have a tough fight tomorrow. He says, I have an easy fight tomorrow. And you can tell Diego that too. And then he was getting out of the elevator and he was like, okay, all right.
Was it tense?
You know, it wasn't tense. You know, at the end of the day, it's a professional sport. If I felt the situation happened and I needed to neutralize him in that moment, I would have done that, no problem. But for the most part, it's professional. Now, we're both. Everyone is well, not a lot of people are hungry for the dream. Not everyone in the division, but there's people who are chasing the dream, you know, and we're looking to step over each other to get there. So that's just the way it is.
I've been told that if you look good and win impressively on Saturday, next for you would be Dustin Poirier. Does that interest you?
I mean, yeah, it doesn't matter who it is, because with the champion being out, I want every single one of them are going to get it. By the time I pack it in, the whole division is going to be gone. It's going to be. I won't stop until it's wiped out. I won't stop until the division is wiped out. Dustin, yeah, it probably should have been Dustin. If Dustin hadn't had the balls, if Dustin wanted to fight, he should be here right now. His teammate pulled out. A guy in his gym pulled out. He would have known about the injury. He would have known that he was pulling out before the UFC even known. So how can you justify that you want to fight when you don't campaign for it when it's there? A main event slot. Has he ever main evented a fight before?
Dustin Poirier? Yeah, he has.
Has he? What?
Yeah, Fuel TV, he fought against Korean Zombie.
Right, that was his only one. Okay, has he ever won? And he lost. Exactly. So you're talking main event, you're talking a sold out, you're talking a big event. And everybody knows it's a big event. People don't, some of them might not want to admit it's a big event for whatever reason. But they know it's a big event. They know everybody's watching. But yet, nothing. Yet he kept quiet. You know what I mean? So I already think he's a beaten man already. So if they want to do that next, that's no problem. If they want to do Cub next, he's over here. Who knows? If they want to do Cub next, let's do it. What I was thinking recently, as recent as 2 hours ago, because a lot of people asked me yesterday, what's your? Because I've been saying about I'm going to get that. I feel that belt is going to be on my waist by the end of the year. I'm not actually sure what route it's going to be though, because the current champion is injured. I don't know the state of his injury. But I was thinking, like, next fight, let's just do the next fight in the stadium here. Let's just bring one of the number one contenders over. Let's bring Chad Mendes over. Let's bring Cub Swanson. Let's bring Dustin Poirier over, or whoever else is in that number one in that slot, Frankie Edgar. Let's bring them over to Ireland and sell out a stadium. Let's do that next while the champion sits out, because that could be done. So that's something that just came to me in my, and I see it as.
You think you can do that? 80,000?
100%. I think I could do that. I mean, just the fact that something of that magnitude was going on, a fight event in a big football arena, it's never happened in this country. that reason alone is the reason that it would sell. People would want to be there for a historic event that does not happen in our country. Even this doesn't happen in our country. You know what I mean? 10,000, whatever this is, but this is too small. This is 10 times too small.
It was a mistake.
What do you think of that? And then another thing I was thinking, yeah, sorry, I'll let you go, is the fact that it's summer now and then it's going to get into winter. So it's a different dynamic then. Like, I know you can put the canopy over, so they've done it in Wembley Football Stadium for the first row site. But heavy winter, that would be risky. But go on, anyway, what do you think?
I think, based on what I saw yesterday, I think it all depends obviously on what happens on Saturday night. I think if you have a fantastic performance, it will just keep growing and growing. I think you need the right opponent, but I don't doubt it. Based on what I saw yesterday and the way that people talk about you.
Yeah.
Last time I saw a relationship like this, let's say goodbye to the arena because I know you have to go back. The last time I saw a relationship, I think you dropped your phone. Yeah. Like this with people, it was GSP and Canadians.
Yeah.
Where it was a nation behind them. It's not just a fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I believe that.
Yeah.
This to me feels, it does feel a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
now, right?
100%.
It feels like
100%. That's the first thing I thought. I said, this is too small.
Right.
It's too small. For the demand that's there, it's too small. I mean, at that open workout, they sold 1,000 tickets. But if they'd have sold 9,000 tickets, there'd have been 9,000 people there. At the weigh-ins, they sold 5,000 tickets. It's the first time they've ever sold tickets to a weigh-in. But they sold 5,000. If they sold 9,000, or sorry, they didn't sell the weigh-in tickets. The guy in the back is like, it was free. It was free.
But that's not something we see in the United States.
Exactly. It's open to the public, but because they knew that was going to be, it was going to be crazy. But if they'd have sold 9,000 tickets or 10,000 tickets, you best believe there'd have been 10,000 people here for these weigh-ins. The demand is there. But I understand you can't take risks like that. That's a big risk to put a football stadium like that. But Saturday night there'll be no doubt. It's a stadium. The next time they come back here, it's a stadium. It's as simple as that. And there's only one other guy that's done that, and that's George St. Pierre, 58,000 in the Rogers Arena, the Rogers Centre. Now this little handsome Irish kid that nobody thought could do it is en route. So it's perfect. It's good times.
The next time you'll be in here, you'll be in front of all these people, your people.
Yep.
What do you think it's going to be like? Do you think you'll get nervous at all?
No, I don't.
You'll enjoy it.
I'll get calm. I'll get calmer even. You know, as soon as I get into that warm-up area and start moving, you know, I realize I actually am better than everybody. I'm the best ever. And right now I feel better than before. You know, so that calms me. So when I actually make that walk, I'll embrace it. I'll feed off it, but I won't get too energized. I won't get too hyped by it. I won't shy away from it either. I'll just be calm and I'll go in and do my job, and then I'll embrace it. You know, then who knows what kind of adrenaline or what kind of thing will take over, because I don't know. It's that when the fight ends and in your hometown and in this whole hype and all this, who knows what way I'll react after. I don't know, maybe I'll be gone over the fence and into the crowd or something, I don't know. I'll just let it happen naturally.
You know, I remember in Boston, you were very disappointed that you went the distance. You almost viewed that as a loss. Will it be the same here?
If I was to go the distance?
Yeah.
100%.
That's unacceptable.
That's unacceptable. I'm not even thinking of going the distance. There's no distance here. I'm going in to put this guy away. Like, looking at the last fight, the lead up to the last fight, I felt Max Holloway was afraid. I thought he was afraid. Whereas this fight with Diego, he's not so much afraid, but he's broke. I feel he's broke. It reminds me of the Brimage kind of. It reminds me of Brimage. So whereas Max might have in the fight been on his toes and been on the run, I think Diego's going to be over anxious and over ego and pushing his shots and trying to force that. And that's going to be his downfall. He's going to eat some heavy shots and he will fall.
You think first round?
I believe
that's what all your people are saying.
I believe first round, yeah.
Will that be acceptable for you? Like, will that feel satisfying?
Of course.
If it's a 10-second fight, no problem. You don't want to put on a show.
You know, looking at the Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, 16 seconds.
16 seconds, and then looking at the 5-round war after it.
Right.
I was actually sitting here thinking, I don't know what one I want.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want, that 5-round war, back and forth, and a great scrap, a fight for the ages, or I just want to go in and dominate like Ronda did. I was actually caught in two minds there, but I don't know. I suppose either. I definitely want the first round. I'll tell you. I want to put him away early. This guy. I do want a good 5-round war somewhere down the line, and I do want someone that can give me that. But I don't think this guy is the guy that can give it to me.
Who do you think can?
I don't think there is a guy that can. I don't think there is a guy that can give me that war that I'm looking for. Not in the featherweight division, anyway.
But it's interesting. Before you signed with the UFC, and going back to the fans and your relationship with these people, remember Dana White came to have a talk here. I think it was at some kind of college. And the fans were the ones who said to him, the people there, Conor McGregor, when are you going to sign? He thought you were a heavyweight.
Yeah.
He never heard of you before.
Yeah. And I hit like a heavyweight.
The same thing happened with Kendra. They harassed with Neil Seery too. Why do you feel like the Irish fans, because I don't see this happening with many other fans, where there's a slot that's open, they almost feel like they have to campaign on your behalf. Why do you feel that is?
The Irish, people say like the Irish, there's a lot of begrudgery in Ireland, and there probably is, but I don't pay attention to that because there is a lot of people who support. We support our own.
Speaking of which.
Yeah, we support our own. You know what I mean? Over here. So that is why, and that's one of the reasons why we're back here as well. Not just because of my success as well, just because these diehard fans and that they see that it's there. You know what I mean? The Irish people have been phenomenal. They support our athletes, and it's perfect.
Would you ever leave?
No, I don't think like move away full time. Never in my life. Look at this city. Are you shitting me?
You hesitated for a second.
Because I was thinking of something else. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. I was thinking, but look at this. Yeah. It's out there. I need to go here to become a worse. And that's bullshit. The start of anything begins in the mind. You know what I mean? So you can become world champion from anywhere. Like I am becoming world champion from here, from home.
What's the tattoo all about? That's new.
Yeah,
what does it symbolize?
It doesn't really symbolize anything. That's weird as well. The way people think like, well, this means like, I don't know what it doesn't mean anything. I mean, like,
is it a crown?
Yeah, there's a king's crown, and I was born in LA first. You know what I mean? Just born.
During the injury rehab.
Yeah, I was in LA on my own. Right. I saying, no, fucking tattoos. Well, I got the gorilla in SPG is the logo, but I didn't want that straight gorilla. You know what I mean? I wanted something different, and I just outboard and went into a tattoo artist, a tattoo shop in Hermosa Beach. Oh no, Venice Beach. I said that to them. I said, look, I want this shoulder, the logo, and then she ended up drawing a few things out. So I came back the next day, seen a few things, said, fuck it, let's do it. Bought them. And I like tattoos.
You like the way it looks?
Yeah, I love the way it looks. I always like the way, I always like tattoos. You know, just the way, I don't know, just the way it looks on the skin or something. I don't know, I like them. Yeah.
What's the biggest misconception about Conor McGregor these days?
I don't know. What do you mean, like?
What do people think about you that actually isn't true? What do you hear about what people say about you? The way you act, fight, you conduct yourself? That is a misconception. Is there anything? We talked about a lot, especially here.
Yeah, I actually couldn't. I suppose people say I'm on mouth or I'm too cocky or something. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that. There's only a certain group who I listen to, and I don't listen to no one else. I don't hear about nothing else. I don't want to hear about nothing else. If someone starts trying to tell me
about something like, don't tell them. I don't want people to hear that shit. I don't want to hear that. So I don't really give a shit what people think.
So what's the best part about being you right now?
The best part about being me right now,
other than talking to me, of course, here.
I don't know. I'm living my dream. I'm living my dream. I set out to do something, and I'm doing it. That's the best part, you know what I mean? To be able to do something that you set out to do, and I set out to accomplish, and you were on the route to accomplishing that dream. That's the best part about being me. But right now, the day before weigh-ins, this is the toughest day. I'm down. My weight is better than ever before. It was lower than Boston. It was lower than Sweden.
How much you weigh right now?
Right now, this morning, I'm 70.4 kilos.
Okay.
I get to 66.3, so it's still tough. But I'm on limited water, even limited water than before, limited meals. It's tough, you know what I mean? But because you're Ariel Helwani, the MMA media maestro, we call it. And you've supported me, you know, you brought me onto the show, and we had fun with Crick, and then as well you support my teammates, and plus you're a good guy. I said, you know what, let's do it today. I did try and get it done I tried to get it done on the Sunday.
On the Sunday afterwards?
Because like then I would have been happy, and I would have been floating around. I could have walked around with a big burger or something, and we would have had a bit of fun.
Unfortunately, I'm leaving.
Exactly, you were leaving, so fuck it. I'm happy to be doing it now. I feel it wasted.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. It got me thinking about younger years ago, like when I was thinking about them action man shit, and like playing with the wrestlers. I used to play with the wrestlers in a wrestling ring in my room for hours, like just being. But with the figures, like it's fucking weird now that I'm doing this. I never thought about it.
It's wild, right? You have become those guys that are people playing with your action figure now.
It's crazy shit, yeah?
All of this is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're here for you, a featherweight, a division that doesn't get this kind of attention.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Thank you so much, Connor. Pleasure. Best of luck to you.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
How's it going, guys? John, and there's a little statement I'm going to make.
Mr. John, excuse me. What is this one?
Yeah, we're here. That's right. So, we are here, and quite a really interesting situation. I think I'd rather you guys ask questions first.
Okay, that's fine.
Is that cool? It's like, where do I start with what to say? So.
Let me just walk him through some questions. Let me start with the easy one. Have you ever knowingly taken Turinabol or anything that could have caused this positive test?
No, I have not.
And when you found out that you had tested positive, what was your reaction?
It was a terrible reaction. Probably one of the more confusing things I've ever had to do, especially because of the process of trying to figure out how it all happened. You know, I was immediately asked to look at the people around me and see how this got in my body. So that was really tough. Like just spending the first few days of the situation, going back on supplements that I had taken, and just people that had been around me, which the last month before the fight, it was just closest friends and family and brothers, people who really care about me and really want to see me succeed and understand my success, translates into their lives as well. So yeah, it was a really interesting situation, just trying not to go through crazy conspiracies and look at people that I love as someone who could maybe put something in my food or drink or anything like that.
In your camp before the fight, did you feel like you were careful? Did you do things differently from what you had done in the past?
Super careful. Super careful leading up to this last fight. You know, I'm very aware of my image and perception of me, and been really working really hard to change it. And you know, this fight definitely leading up to it. Thought I had the perfect situation and just people in my life that just take care of everything as far as a good nutritionist, and I just hired a lot more people to help have a ultimate professional team, and I felt like it led to an alcoholic, ultimately. So I was really proud of the team I built around me.
The supplements that you used in the lead up to this fight, who chose those?
So the people that chose them was my managers, one of our managers, Abraham Kawa, who is very connected to the USADA situation, the USADA program. And we basically we made sure that everything we took was in compliance with USADA.
And did you work with a nutritionist as well?
Yes, I worked with a nutritionist who was my jiu-jitsu coach's wife, and she has I know she has some type of degrees, and she's really smart woman. And yeah, everything was really locked down.
And she checked all the supplements before you took them?
Yeah, her name's Michelle. Michelle and Abraham were working really closely to make sure there was nothing that could put me in that situation that I found myself in a while back with, the mental enhancement stuff. But we were just making sure, that situation really educated me a lot, that, I had to be super, super careful about everybody that hands me a water bottle, anything that I eat, anything that I drink, who prepares my food. It taught me a lot, and we thought that I knew that we were on just in a great place. The team.
There was a situation where you ended up switching the brands of supplements you used after your what turned out to be negative test on July 8th, right?
Oh,
so you were taking one set of supplements before July 8th,
right? And
then you switched that after July 8th.
Right. Yeah. So Michelle, she found these supplements that. And they're very generic stuff, like very basic stuff that just for general help for men, like fish oil and a basic protein and a basic glutamine for recovery, and just real basic stuff. And she was really careful to make sure they were like third-party tested and things like this. And even then, my management team was like, it has to be USADA approved. So we ended up scratching these things that were darn near organic to go for things that were strictly okay with USADA.
So there was a recommendation that all the supplements that you take should be from a list of third-party certified supplements.
Correct.
And so basically you took the same kind of supplements, you just switched to brands that were informed choice certified, right?
That clearly said USADA approved, because there were some things that I remember the conversation was they were third-party tested, but they still weren't USADA approved. So we went to things that were like amazing across the board.
And that switch happened in the 3 weeks before the positive test?
Yes.
Okay. And then you knew you were going to be tested before the fight, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And were you
happy about the whole lot.
Were you concerned at all about that test?
No, not at all. Not at all.
So, what have you done to try to figure out what caused the positive once you found out about it?
Well, we sent in all the supplements that we took leading up the 3 weeks before and the 3 weeks after. Both groups of supplements that we took, we've gotten them all tested. And I've just tried to just imagine any scenario of maybe someone who doesn't like me possibly doing something to a meal or a drink, which can drive a person crazy trying to think of that type of stuff. Because like I said, most people who are in my life, especially really close to the other people who are considered very genuine, really want to see me do well. I've done the polygraph test, which was voluntary. And
tell us about the polygraph test a little bit.
I wanted to get a polygraph test, and from my understanding, the guys were testing former FBI guys, so I would imagine that it was a legit company. And I just had them ask me questions. Well, they asked me questions about any any type of sports enhancement stuff. Have I ever done anything close to it? Have I ever seen it? Have I ever been around, anyone who does it that I know about it? And all these type of questions, and I answered every question honestly, and it came back that all my responses were honest, and that's something that I'd be willing to do again with a committee that's from California or whatever I have to do to try to prove to you guys that I have nothing to lie about today. What else have we done?
You met with USADA, right?
I met with USADA, the lawyers, yeah, and answered their questions, anything they wanted to do. I know that was something else that wasn't mandatory, but that was something that I wanted to do to let these guys know that I'm not trying to hide anything from them. And any questions that they want to ask me.
All of a sudden I can't raise.
I'll take phones and text to answer all the questions that will
hardest difficulty. Oh my God. Let's go.
Be asking questions, just trying to prove that I have absolutely nothing to hide. It's just this situation is like really, really crappy because it's just like, I don't understand how any of this happened and how this got in the system. I'm trying to be super open and candid and make myself available to anyone, whether it's my team, their lawyers, you guys, do farther testing, whatever I can do to just try to prove that none of this stuff makes sense to me. As much as it makes no sense to you guys being here, it's just like, imagine being me. I have no clue how this happened. No clue how it happened. I'm just trying to figure it out, just like everybody else.
What do you say in response to, in the brief of the executive officer, they go through past incidents you've had with DUIs and crashes and fights, and they say that it's a demonstration of a pattern of poor judgment and reckless behavior that should be taken into account in determining the penalty here. What do you say to that?
Well, our past is something that none of us can escape, and I've definitely done a lot of things that were just flat out stupid throughout my early 20s. But I've also been the person who's had to deal with everything that I've ever done and deal with the punishments for everything, whether that's being incarcerated, whether that is having hundreds of thousands of dollars taken, whether that's probation, whether that's starting to almost 100 different schools talking to kids about things I've done and things on the state, to make things right. It's been a process, but I feel like I've definitely been putting forth so much effort to make things better and better because I understand that my life is an example to other people. And so looking yourself in the mirror, realizing that you are messing it up, I've really tried to do everything in my power to get my life together and ultimately show the world, show kids like, dude, you can make it through no matter how silly things are looking for you at a time. You can make it through this thing, and that's what I've been trying to do, is live and prove to people that you can get it together. And unfortunately, I've had some science stuff happen to me that has really reflected and kind of put me in this position of just being a lost cause or a screw up. And that's not who I am. I really want people to see that it's not too late to get it together. And that's what I've been trying to do. This situation with the male enhancement pill that just so happened to be tainted, it was, in a way, it was a weird blessing in disguise because it was able to show, like, in that conclusion of the last situation, people were saying, well, negligence. He was negligent. He took a male enhancement pill that he didn't check with his son. Outside of that, this was completely non-intentional. It's like, you can call me many things. You can call me a little bit of a party boy or a little bit of a wild guy or a knucklehead, but a cheater is something that I'll never, ever admit to. Admit to something where I don't want to use. It's like, that's something that I'll never say that I am. So that's just not who I am. Not to babble on, I just really hope that my past situations don't really put me in a certain light. Because as I said, none of us can be safe with those stuff that we've done throughout our early 20s.
Do you feel like you're a different person than you were a couple of years ago? And if so, can you describe how?
Absolutely. I feel like I'm a different person. I think the biggest thing was when I guess the last really dumb thing I did was 3 years ago when I got in a hit-and-run car accident. You know, the judge asked me to go around and talk to 87 schools in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and through that, it was healing for me because I had the opportunity to self-reflect and to realize the impact that I actually had. And it's like, how can you go around to, I think I ended up doing like 90 schools, I did a few extra. It's like, how could you go around and talk to all these kids and see kids cry, and you get to be part of being close to tears? How could you go through all these conversations and know that you're still intentionally trying to do dumb stuff? It's like the moment I had the opportunity to talk to all these kids, I healed myself in a way because I realized the platform that I actually have. And to purposely do steroids like a week before a fight and ruin all those months of talking to all those kids, it would just be stupid. It's like, so I'm absolutely not the same person that I was 3 years ago when I got in a hit-and-run car accident. Like I said, since that car accident, it's been science that has been kicking me in the ass, if I can say that. And it's I'm not blaming anything on you, Sally. It's who thought a null enhancement pill would land you a year outside of work? It's like, and then who's stupid enough to do steroids not consistently leading up to a fight? It's like, I've never done steroids, but any person with common sense would know not to do steroids. One dose like a week before your fight, it makes no sense. And I think all you guys are here are really smart. Probably most of you guys are here are smarter than me. And it's like, you guys know that this makes no freaking sense. Why would I do steroids a week before my fight? It's really hurtful. That's all it really boils down to.
Do you feel like you can still be, or do you still want to be a role model?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think there's a lot of people right now just waiting for this whole situation to play out to see. I don't know. I think somewhere along the line, the inspiration that I've kind of been associating with is just strength throughout shit. Just fucking keeping your head up high and being able to survive really bad situations.
Last question I have: what do you still hope to achieve in your sport?
Well, in this sport, there's a lot of things I really want to do. I want to get that belt away from Cormier, and you mean like in the actual cage, or what?
Yeah. What goals do you still have?
Goals that I still have. I just really want to take the asterisk away from the years and the miles and all the push-ups that I've actually put in. And I've completely committed my life to a fighter, where some people can be themselves and they could be a lawyer on the side, or they could be, a dentist but still be themselves. Like, my whole life is what I do for a living, and it's terrible that there's an asterisk next to my career, because I started this when I was a little boy, and I just want to get rid of that. I just want to get rid of that asterisk and just show people that I do not have to cheat to win fights. This is my heart and soul.
Thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Mr. Ledegas, for us.
Mr. Jones, what assurances can you give the nation this will never happen again?
Well, to be honest with you, it's a really hard question to happen, because I didn't do this in the first place. And so it's like, do you believe in conspiracies? What do I have to do? Like, lock myself in a closet and literally just keep me and my wife in the same room, make sure I'm not tainted by anybody or anything? It's like, so that's how I answer that question. It's like, my assurance was it was a promise I made to the people and the kids of Albuquerque that I get my life together and I'd be more of a living example. And to like I said, take a sex pill that you're planning on having your intimate private life, resort to estrogen blockers, a year suspension. It was like, what in the world is going on? And then to knock out Darren Cormier, and it was such a proud moment to have it, and to have all these people that's so proud look at me like, what's going on? It's like John, get it together. It's like, dude, I do have it together. It just so seemed like my freaking luck has been terrible when it comes to my relationship with Usada. So how can I assure it? I don't want to eat my words because I don't know how this happened in the first place.
Did you receive a paid review money as a result of Cormier?
Yes.
Is that 7 figures around that area or higher?
There's still things coming in, so I'm sorry.
No further questions.
Questions from the commissioners? Commissioner Kibis, I know you have a question.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Jones. Good morning. I'd like to ask you some questions, if that's okay with you. I'd like to preface this with, if I ask you any questions that are confusing or are not understandable, just let me know. I'm not trying to trick you, and I'll try to rephrase it, okay? And I'm also not trying to upset you or embarrass you, but we have a job to do here, so we're just trying to get to the bottom as best as we can.
I've done some pretty embarrassing things, so.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with the most obvious, the sex enhancement supplements. In 2016, you popped for 2 prohibited substances. And during a lot of the interviews, you told the media that you had experience with Viagra, Cialis, and Tadalafil that you were given by one of your teammates, right?
I've had quite a bit of experience with Cialis and Viagra over the years, but this last 10 weeks was the first time, yeah.
So, in 2017, let's say between January and July of 2017, had you taken any sex enhancement supplements? The last year, first half of last year, with that. That you can remember?
Not that, no.
No.
Well, since the I'm not sure what this question. I guess since the original situation that we had with the male enhancement, you know, I was told that, you know, if you ever feel the need, then getting an actual prescription to Cialis would be the best idea, and to never take anything.
Other than prescription, you have not had any experiences since, let's say, June of 2016, nothing over the counter, no supplements, nothing like that?
No, no, since this last situation, no, I realized that negligence could get you in trouble. And, you know, originally I thought it was all about, with you said, that was about performance enhancers, you know what I mean? So now I know for a fact not to take anything that's not prescribed by a doctor or approved by USADA, both.
So in all of 2017, let's say last year, nothing over the counter, no supplements, nothing other than prescription.
Yes, I think so.
In terms of male sex enhancement.
Oh, yes, correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. Our competition, June 16, 2016 test, the one where you popped for the 2 prohibited substances. This was right before UFC 200, where you were supposed to fight Daniel Cormier, right?
Yes, I'm terrible with dates. I'm really bad with dates.
Well, 2016. It's the one where you popped for the 2.
Right.
So at the time that you were tested, you also filled out the standard declaration of use form, the one where you are supposed to list any substances or supplements or medications. You remember that?
Yes.
Actually, every time that you test you, you have to fill out one of those forms.
Yes.
Right? That time when they tested you in 2016, that was like the 6th time they tested you, right? Something like that.
Okay.
And every single time you fill out the form, and at the bottom it says that you declare that this is truthful and complete, right?
Yes.
And on that occasion, when you filled that out, you actually didn't write. You wrote down that you haven't taken any supplements, correct?
Yes.
But actually, you had. You just didn't put them in, right?
Yes.
And it was the tadalafil, and also there was the T-anamol, something like that, another supplement that you took, but you didn't put them in. Do you remember that?
I would imagine what you're saying is your answer.
Okay. Because actually, in April of that year, you were also tested by USAID, but in that declaration, you put in like 8 supplements. You remember that?
No, I don't. But if that was what was put in, then that was probably, if 8 supplements were listed, it was probably my manager being there with me physically at the time. That just filled out the paperwork.
Well, at least certainly you learned after this incident with tadalafil that you really need to put everything in.
Yes, yes.
So in 2017, in July 28th, the day before your fight, UFC 214, you were also given a declaration of use, right, to fill out. And you filled out with, I think, 7 supplements. You remember that? And you signed at the bottom, this is truthful, this is complete with all the supplements, right?
Okay.
But actually, after you popped fortrenolol, another 10 supplements were sent to Smyrna Lab for testing that were not listed.
All 10 weren't listed.
Use. You know that, right?
You're saying there were 10 supplements that I never listed?
Correct.
Probably like fish oil and protein.
And Endura, and Edelite, and Omegagenics, Edelite, glutamine, 10 supplements.
Anything else? Okay. I was just saying, like, I'm sure everything that you just read off were very healthy things that men who are elite athletes could and should probably take.
There's supplements.
Yes, ma'am.
No shit. So you said that, you just said that the last stupid thing that you did, I'm sorry, it was 3 years ago, and that's the hit and run, right? That was in New Mexico, 2015. It was a car accident. You left the scene. It was a woman who was pregnant, who was locked in the church, right?
Yes.
And you pled to a felony killing a scene of an accident, something like that, correct?
Yes.
So you were put on probation after that, and you had to serve your time on probation, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of penalties I had to go through for that, but yes.
Well, at least that was one.
That was one of them, yes.
And as
Huge
part
lawsuit.
of your probation, there were conditions. Like if you got citations, or if you did something wrong, you had to report. I mean, there were lots of conditions, correct?
Yeah.
While you were on probation, you were actually cited like 5 times, including for drag racing. Were you not?
It was all the same scenario, and what I learned that day is that if you rev your engine at a red light, the moment that the light turns green, you're automatically legally drag racing. So he cited me for drag racing, but not speeding. He gave me one for having a vanity over my license plate and a whole bunch of crazy things. Then that guy came out.
You had 5 citations that you actually failed to report.
And in one sitting.
Right.
For revving my engine, he ended up giving me 5 citations.
Okay, but you did not report that as you were supposed to, and then you were arrested for a violation of your probation.
No, ma'am. I didn't get arrested for violating. I got arrested because I had an interaction with a law enforcement agent. It wasn't that I didn't report anything. I literally was like getting arrested the next day.
You got additional community service for that, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am. Which I did more than what was given to me. Just out of good faith and because I found the neck for talking to kids.
In connection with the testing for this event in 2017, in the process testing, you were given a letter by your side, right? Advising you of the possibility of their intent for suspension, right? There's a possibility of, what they could possibly do. Right?
Yes.
And the possible period of ineligibility that they could give you is something like 4 years, with another additional period for aggravating circumstances. 6 years, including aggravating circumstances.
Yes.
You just told us that after the incident with the sex enhancement supplement or medication, they said you were negligent, but you were not a cheater, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, they actually said that your degree of fault was actually reckless. Do you remember that?
It was reckless. And this mental enhancement thing?
Yes.
If that's what it says. Reckless and negligent.
And then you would have very high degree of fault. Because, in fact, he did not seem to care about the teammate where he got the tablet, but only what it did for him in terms of increasing his sexual pleasure. Do you remember this?
Sorry, can you tell me what paragraph I'm trying to follow?
It would be at page 21, and the reckless reference is at page 27.
So when USADA came into my life, I was on a suspension still, dealing with my head-on car accident. At no point did I ever meet anyone with USADA. I never went to any of the seminars. I didn't know how great of an agency USADA was. I know that I've been an athlete my whole life and that I've taken mental enhancement pills several times throughout my life. And I know that I've never failed a drug test for anything illegal. One of my favorite quotes by Dan Gable is, when I know a man is taking steroids, I know that I can beat him because he doesn't have the work ethic that it takes to be at a certain point. And so, throughout my whole entire MMA career, I've always been an advocate, like going out of my way to talk about being totally against mental enhancement, obviously not against that. Being totally against performance enhancing drugs, totally against it. I probably spoke about it more than any other champion in UFC history, being totally against it. So, to get back to the mental enhancement stuff, I had never met anybody from USADA. I never knew that this could even be possible, like an estrogen blocker through a mental enhancement pill. So when I took the pill without asking too many questions, like I said, I had never failed a drug test before, ever. And I know I've never done anything questionable before when it comes to performance enhancement stuff.
But now you've been popped twice, John Jones.
And I thank God that all science shows that this kid was not trying to do anything outside of have a good time with his wife. So it's like.
Okay, Mr. Jones, let me ask you. In 2015, USADA became the independent anti-doping administrator for USC. You know that.
Yes.
Right? So you became part of the registered testing pool for USAC.
Yes.
And for UFC and USAC.
Yes.
And as part of this,
So you know the rules, bitch.
you were required to complete online educational classes, right?
I guess so. I'm gonna be honest with you, I never did that.
Seriously, because in 2015 you certified that you did. In 2016 you certified that you did. So now you're saying that you actually didn't?
Correct. I had my management do it for me.
Okay.
I'm just here to be super open and honest with you guys.
Okay, so you never did any of these tutorials?
No.
So when you certified that you understood the tutorials, that you completed the tutorials, you lied?
No, I didn't lie. What I have been doing throughout my whole career is just having my management team go over contracts for me and approve of it themselves, and I've had them sign things on my behalf several times throughout my career.
Well, you knew that you were supposed to do these anti-doping tutorials.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely.
You didn't do it. Now you're saying you didn't do it.
Ma'am, to be 1,000% with honest with you, my management team and I, we know that we've never come close to even considering any type of cheating options, so we never thought that them signing my signature would be an issue, because it's just not in my heart to cheat.
I understand that, but I'm asking you about the
Yes, ma'am, I did not sign it myself.
You do understand, though, that these educational tutorials are supposed to teach you about personal responsibility in taking anything, not just substances with anabolic steroids, but any substances that may contain contaminants.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And then you have personal responsibility for taking anything and ingesting it. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about this polygraph that you took on December 7th, 2017. They asked you a total of 4 questions, right?
I thought it was nothing. If that's what it says, sure you're correct. Yes, ma'am.
And before you were asked those 4 questions, you were told ahead of time the subject of some 4 questions.
No, not really.
So when the report says that you were told the subject, the report is not.
I was pretty much just briefed on the fact that they're going to ask me a lot of questions about a lot of different things to determine my honesty level. Like, they started off asking me really simple questions, like an athlete and stuff like that, just to get a reading. They actually asked me a lot more than 4 questions. And there were only 4 showing up. I guess that's the 4 questions that they actually cared about. But they asked me, it took well over an hour to complete the process. There was a lot of questions asked about my personal life, about stealing, about all types of stuff, to establish that the test do in fact work. Like questions like, are you 30 years old? Are you African American? Are you this? Are you that? Like very basic questions. It's just to establish if it actually works. And then once they establish that it works, they ask me several questions. Some would be about drugs, some would be about street drugs, all types of questions. So there were way more than 4 questions. Yeah.
So when the report actually says that they discussed what they were going to ask you before they asked you, that's not actually true, or is it true? Or do you know?
I'm sorry, where are we reading from?
I don't know if you have.
I have it in
Must
front
have
of
the
me.
report because you put it in.
Yeah, it's Exhibit Q.
So pre-interview, and then the interview, and then the actual, the 4 questions that they list.
Right, and I'm just looking because in the interview phase it says the substances were discussed during the pre-testing examination to be oral tramadol, dihydrochloromethyl testosterone aldol, so that he would
That's
know.
what I'm asking.
Right.
So they actually told you there, and then if you look at the relevant questions, there were 4 questions that were asked, that they asked you about, that they asked you.
Those are the 4 relevant questions.
Yeah, because they asked me, it was
On the actual polygraph, there were 4 questions.
I was hooked up to that polygraph for well over an hour and answered so many more than 4 questions, man.
Well, there were pre-test and interview, and then there was a polygraph.
To me, I've never been through any of that. It was all the same. They were asking me questions with a lie detector on me to get the true, whether it's true or false.
Let's talk about your previous findings. In connection with your previous with the accident that you had, the 2015 accident, were you fined by UFC?
Pretty sure I had to pay.
Do you remember how much that was?
I don't. I know I had to pay that.
Was $50,000 something like that? I mean, $25,000 or something like that.
I think it was 50.
Was it 50?
25.
I thought it was
2014 it was 50, and 2015 it was 25.
okay. I thought you were talking about 14.
I would imagine everything you have is factual, so I'll say yes.
Are there any other fines from either USADA or UFC that you recall?
Well, I signed a disclosure agreement with the woman that was in that car accident to never discuss the amount, but it was huge.
Not private parties. I'm just talking about UFC and USADA or any commission.
I don't know. The belt being shipped. It was 25,000 and just legal fees that I had to go through and stuff like that.
the two, the 14 and 15.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It was.
You wrapped that one around like a utility pole at some point, right?
That goes into the DWI thing I had one time ago. I just said super young back then, doing a lot of things. It wasn't given to me. It was a payment for an agreement with me.
That was in 2010.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we get to the question done on the same. Your question, Mr. Jones?
Well, my question, I don't want to be, I'm John Myerson. I've been on the commission about 10 years. And I think I'm older than everybody here. But it's a close race, John. I'm sorry. I'm not a Stephen A. Smith, and maybe some of you guys will know who he is. But he's a reporter. And some of the questions you're asking, number one, I didn't bring my hearing aid, so I can't hear them anyway. And the commissioner, she asked some good questions. Some of them I didn't hear, some of them. But I say this, my perspective, I read this thing backwards, period. And I want to say this, that I understand how good you are good fighter and all that, but it seems to me young people, like I was young once, make a lot of mistakes. A lot of mistakes. In fact, you don't mature, to me, until you're 40, or 40-some odd, period. And you're coming before us with all of these different things, and you don't know this, you don't know that. And we, as a commission, we can't excuse all that, except say that you were young and hope that you would want to be an example for young people that's come behind you, beside you. This is why I said about Stephen A. Smith. Some of you probably never heard of him, but he's an advocate, especially for African American athletes who are actually spokesmen for many people, today, in today's world. I remember when football players, you open the Ebony magazine and they showed that there was one or two. But young people coming along, you guys don't realize that you're an example, and you have to stay in this example. And my opinion, and I don't want to take it too long, is that you guys
don't make it about race, you fucking bitch.
But when you're wrong, you're wrong, and you should be fined whatever it is, because somebody come behind you who makes $10,000 and gets fined by his commission or anybody else for $1,000.
Oh my God, Bummy Dog, what are you doing?
You make a lot of money.
What are you doing?
You expect to stand up, bite the bullet, and say, "Yeah, I was wrong." And that's how I think of it. And you heard me bringing up about Stephen A. Smith and about this and that and the other. I've been in this thing a long time, not just in boxing, but in the political world and everything else. And the point is, when you're wrong, you're wrong. And you should take the consequences. It's fine to get attorneys. I love attorneys. Some people think I don't, but I do. They're about right. But they're going to look out for you, but they're also looking out for themselves. And you have to remember that. And when you make a mistake, stand up to it. I don't mean to be a soapbox commissioner, chairman, but I have to say what I feel.
Sure. Thank you.
To respond to
You want to respond to your statement? He's asking if he can respond.
Yeah, you can.
So, I could. Yes, sir.
I didn't bring my hearing aids this morning.
I'm on you. I sit here before you and I tell you that I have 1,000% in every situation that I've ever done, paid for the dumb things that I've done. And I often handle it with grace, and I try not to show how much it has affected me, the consequences of my actions, but I've always had a consequence for my actions. Oftentimes people think, oh, John, you're a celebrity, so you get breaks and you get this some type of weird favoritism. But if you actually have paid attention closely to everything that I've ever done, in almost zero circumstances have I got any type of leniency. Any type of leniency. So I've always been more than willing to step up as a father, as a man, to the wrong things that I've done. And that's why I'm here today, to step up to the wrong things that I've done. And honestly, I put it on everything that is dear to me, everything that is dear to my soul, that I did not do steroids. And in this situation, I swear to my Heavenly Father that I'm not wrong. So when you say you're wrong, I 100% agree. I've always handled my punishments head on. And in this situation, I am not wrong. I swear to anything. I swear to everything that's dear to me, which is my Heavenly Father, that I am not wrong in this situation.
No. Vice Chair?
I think maybe two questions. Do you have an opinion on the prevalence of the use of steroids in your sport?
Like how big it is? I feel like I know scenarios of people who's done steroids, but they're very public cases where, you know, if you're a fellow UFC fighter, everyone knows the guys who have been guilty of doing steroids. But to talk about the actual percentage of guys who do it, honestly, I can't give much a suggestion because, like I said earlier, out of all the champions in UFC history, and if someone was willing to do a report on it, I can guarantee you no one has been more of an advocate against being against performance-enhancing drugs. So if you are doing steroids, I wouldn't be the guy to talk to about it. I'm known, my reputation is known, especially on my team, as a guy who's working the hardest. And if your image is a guy who's a hard worker, and if you're a steroid coward, I'll call you, I'm not the guy to talk to you about doing steroids.
If you agree that it's important that we do all we can to stop the use of steroids.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's like me being here. I'm not sitting here saying that you side is lying on me, and what I am saying is that I'm in a really crappy situation because I'm faced with the fact that I started wrestling when I was about 11 years old, and it's led me to college, and it led me to state champions in high school, and all types of state championships throughout high school, and national championships in college, and become the youngest UFC champion in sports history, and now steroids out of nowhere. Like, don't you guys think achieving all those things, if I was a steroid guy through all these great achievements, I would have been caught a long time
No,
ago.
because they weren't testing John Jones, you stupid piece of shit.
The sport. But I think it's super important to throw people and lock them away, throw the keys away to people who are caught with situations that are undisputable. Like this, and in my situation, it's like, why would he do steroids 1 week before his fight? This kid's been winning since day one. Why would he do steroids? So if you guys are gonna clean up the sport, clean it in a situation, and I'm not telling you guys what to do, obviously you guys are in charge and this is really out of my hands. But clean it in situations where you're just like, dude, this kid is so guilty. It's like my situation is like, dude, you hit someone with your car, paid damn near $1 million in a lawsuit, and it's like I'm getting judged for all the stupid shit I've done a long time ago. In this scenario, if we were to ignore all the dumb things that I've done in the past, it's just like, it almost makes you feel like, dude, if you have a troubled past, you have no rights for no matter what evidence you come up with or can't come up with. It's just, you're just guilty.
Okay, thank you, that's a good answer. Yes, I'd like to clarify when Commissioner Shenarkidas was asking you, is it your testimony today that when you took the tutorials by WADA about what was improper or what could get you in trouble, the testing in September 2015, October 2015, December 2015, that you do not recall doing those tutorials, or that you affirmatively did not take them?
I didn't take them.
Okay. And did you state that it was forged by your management on that?
Yes.
Last question. You said you were working hard to change you have been working hard to change your image. Can you give some more examples? You mentioned speaking to the kids at the school.
Well, yeah, I definitely spoke to a lot of kids at the schools, and situations where it was just so life-changing and so amazing to me. Literally having kids talk to me about molestation, just all types of stuff that was not my business, but at that moment I got to recognize my platform, and that especially kids of Albuquerque needs a positive thing. You know, a lot of the fighters that's come out of Albuquerque have, I don't know, some of them didn't really give kids that much to, especially the biggest names in boxing, and I don't want to mention anyone to be disrespectful. I just want to be a champion in Albuquerque for the kids of Albuquerque that no one's ever seen. I know that my life is super important to these people. My survival is super important to not only kids in Albuquerque, but to a lot of my fans.
Do you need specific examples of things you've been doing to work on your image and to show that you
really
you're a different person than when you were younger.
Really just changing up my life choices, changing up the people that I'm surrounded by, changing up the people that I surround myself, and just making a conscious effort to just be a better dude.
Can you give me some examples?
Well, I've lost a lot of friends, and I think that was the biggest thing. Like, you know, Michael Jackson always says you got to look at the man in the mirror, right, and start with yourself before you can really make an impact on others. And I think the biggest thing that I've done to change is just to work on myself and to not quit through all this stuff, and just work on being a better dude.
Okay, but give me some examples. These are generalisms. This might help you out.
Okay. Examples of things I've done to better myself. Man, it's hard to explain because, I mean, outside of doing drunk mistakes, I don't really look at myself as being this evil guy that's walking around hurting innocent people. And I've just matured a lot. And unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to really show it because of my anonymity. But I think I represent a positive message, and that's something that I continue. And like I said, I guess the biggest thing that I've done to better myself is mainly in my personal life, because you know, there's not really much that people can say about me in the ring. It's been doing stupid stuff like drinking and driving.
Nobody believes you, John.
And,
I don't.
A full-time like a driver, and to make sure that in the vehicle accidents like a hit and run or a DWI could never happen again. Outside of my 2 driving incidents, I mean, there's really nothing that anyone could point at to say, you know, this kid is a terrible human being. You know, the day I decided to run from that car accident I got into was one of the worst. It was probably the single worst decision I've ever made. But I can't really look myself in the mirror and say, John, you're just a disgusting human being. Have I done some stupid stuff with alcohol? Being a 20-year-old drunk idiot? Yeah. And I guess the biggest thing I always knew I had to do was just control my personal life. And so, like I said, you know, losing a lot of friends who I knew could lead me down the wrong path, that was a huge step. And just limiting any possibility of me doing something stupid behind the wheel ever again, by knowing that if I decide to go out with any guy friends, that I would never be the guy who's drinking and driving again. I realized how irresponsible and stupid that was, and how much money it's cost me, and how much respect I've lost through it all.
Thank you.
Okay.
No more questions?
I have a follow-up? Because I want to, go ahead, please make your...
The community service that you did with the children, it was October 2015, right around there, right?
Yeah. So I hope you will see, very nice, acknowledge that we gave you as much time as perhaps you'll be able to repeat yourself again and again, answer questions, to make your case. Do you feel like you're making your case tonight?
Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yes, sir. Could I just add, sure, before you shut it down, I sort of feel like I'm stuck between being on the parole board or on one of those panels for the primetime television shows where you judge somebody playing a ukulele. I sit here, you obviously, as you have conceded, have conducted a fairly deplorable number of things in your life. And, you just sit here and say, well, there's a pattern in your life that you pledge to correct or reverse. But I sit here and say that I hear good things from you, though I'm not inclined to vote in favor of anybody named Boo. And I just think that if we vote against you, in effect, we will pretty much set you adrift in terms of your career and whatever impact that may have on your advent. And I think we all try to find in this period things that we may be able to do which may somehow make things better, either individually or hopefully collectively. If we vote against you, I think the game's over. If we believe what you tell us, and you live as you tell us you will, then you have a chance to continue and have an opportunity for a better life. This is it's a very difficult place to be, and I don't think we as a commission encounter these circumstances with regularity, and I'm quite thankful that's the case. But my inclination is, after going through this, I hope what you're telling us is true.
Yes, sir. And just last thing, like I said, that Hammer Paris was 3 years ago, and I promise you guys, I've really tried to like just get it all back.
You still in California?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's my turn. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to get into Mr. Foster and discuss with him his recommendation in a second. You were asked again and again here about making changes based on the things that keep happening to you. I haven't heard any real changes. You still drink alcohol, still admitting that you're doing things that are very questionable. I think you must realize that you have judgment issues. Do you? Because let me tell you something, sir. You said you might not be as smart as other people. I don't agree with that. You seem to be very intelligent. Very aware. You're also a great athlete. I'm a fan of yours. I was at that fight close by me. But you have judgment issues. Have you considered changing your management?
Actually, I have considered that several times. No, I'm joking. I think I could have some slight judgment issues, but I think I've made a lot of the necessary steps to check myself. Like I said, to take a mental enhancement pills. I got you.
Hang in there with you. So I don't need to be cutting you off. I want to keep going on the same line. There are definitely things that you could consider, perhaps should consider. That's really up to you. But we are put in a position here to make a decision, which is to either support or change our executive officer, who, if you haven't figured out by now, is the last place he wants to be. Former MMA fighter. Okay? Last place he wants to be, having to make these recommendations. That I can assure you and anyone else who is wondering about that. And again, we'll get to him in a second, Mr. Foster. Mr. Jones, you keep talking about how you're older. You were 29 last year. You're not older. We're older. Okay? So I'm not going to give you that one. It's not our burden that I disagree with my friend, respected friend, if I understood him correctly, Commissioner Souter. We're not here to end your career. We're to make a decision based on a recommendation, a decision that you put us in this situation. You understand that, correct? Yes or no? I mean,
yes.
Just positive.
Oh, yes.
You also took and were paid the money, a lot of money, for that fight that was declared no contest, correct?
Yes, sir.
I have issues with that, but I don't get to decide. Two final things, maybe one thing. Now, do you consider a doped athlete, intent or non-intent doesn't matter, a danger to his or her opponent in the outcome?
Absolutely.
So you can see what the effects of a doped athlete, a testing positive athlete has in the athlete. Because this has been all about you, hasn't it, this year?
Yes, sir.
See, but for us, it's not all about you, it's about your opponents, and all the other athletes out there. We haven't talked about that at all tonight, and I'm not happy with that as well.
But again, I don't get excited. Do you understand the impact this has on the actions that you're taking on your opponents?
Could I answer that by saying yes?
That's the question.
Yes, sir. If I was sitting here knowing in my heart that I've been doing steroids or I ever did steroids, I would feel some weird guilt. I absolutely understand what steroids could do to someone else or to your own health. And that's why I've sworn up and down and done meetings that I didn't have to do and done polygraphs and all this type of stuff to tell you that I, of all people, absolutely understand what performance-enhancing drugs can do to someone. That's why I'm trying to swear with all sincerity that I would never do that.
Not just to you, to your opponents, and to your sport.
To your legacy and to, yeah, absolutely.
Not to you, Mr. Jones, to your opponents and to your sport.
Yes, sir.
To MMA, to the world of MMA.
That's why I would never do it. I hate the fact that Lance Armstrong is associated with steroids. You know what that does to cycling? I hate that Barry Bonds is associated with steroids. You know what that does to boxing? I understand that I'm kind of right now become as one of the pioneers of my sport, but be one of the originators of boxing, the way people look at, you know, some of the old greats, the Willie Pedersen, the Jet Johnsons and all that. I understand how important.
I understand you are smart.
Yes, I do understand, and that's why I would not disrespect myself in MMA at its birth state by being a cheater.
But you're making my point for me if you understand the situation that we're in here. Okay?
Sir.
You have to understand, and hopefully you do. I think that
I do.
Which is good.
Awesome.
But it really does put us in that position. You realize that under the state of California, regulatory agency, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just want to make sure that you're clear. Okay. Mr. Walter, can we talk to Council about the recommendation on to the next steps?
Absolutely. Andy, what is your recommendation?
I can't hear you. I would hope to cover Mr. Foster's position in a closing argument. If we could go into closing. And if I don't cover it up, I'm sure Mr. Foster would follow up.
Very good.
We'd like to hear from Andy at some point. Whenever you guys work this out, please. We're being good. Here close.
Commissioner, so let me preface my recommendation a little bit. Okay. I have a personal view and I have my professional view. Okay. My personal view is I believe you. I don't just want to say it. I view it from common sense. We've heard from scientists and all this stuff. I'm looking at common sense. This makes no sense for him to take this drug on the test that he knows is coming. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Okay? Having said that, here we are. We're sitting here. There's nothing I can do about that. We're sitting here. My recommendation is $2,500 for 303, $2,500 for discredit to mixed martial arts, and $200,000, that's 40% of the purse for business and profession codes 18843B. Now look, Howard Jacobs wrote something in his brief that I thought a lot about when he said, look, this 2% thing should be reserved for the most severe offenses, and I agree with that. I agree. Mr. Jones has been in front of USADA once, he's now with us here. But we're not talking about what he's done in the past. We're talking about 40%. And I had to ask myself when I was coming up with this, look, you made $500,000 from the bout. That's good. That's on the ballot group. Mr. Jones also made a considerable amount of money from the pay-per-view sales that surrounded this fight. I don't believe he would be able to do that without that state license. That's why I came up with that. So, then as far as the license goes, I want to be very clear that I do not believe we should end Mr. Jones's career today. Okay? but I do believe he should sit out for a while. Okay? He's already sat out a good while. I guarantee you he's already missed a fight or two that he could have made money on. I guarantee you. But I think we should revoke his license. That's what my recommendation is. That's what I'm recommending to you guys. I don't think Mr. Jones gets to be a professional mixed martial arts rider. That's what I believe. Let him deal with USADA. Let USADA give their discipline, whatever it's going to be. When that's completed, I would be inclined to support Mr. Jones's application to return to this commission and get his license back. That's where we're at, and that's my recommendation, sir.
So, does you want to add something to that little thing? No. Mr. Jacobs?
I'll keep this short because I know later.
It's okay.
There is one point that I did want to address just briefly on the questions about the doping control form and the supplements that were tested, just to make sure that we're all clear on that. And I'll keep it short.
Jenny, you stink.
If you look at our exhibit B, which is the September 12th letter from me to use sauce.
This is not a closing argument. I've already asked you if you made space, you guys said yes.
I mean, I think as part of the closing, I would be entitled to comment on the evidence that comes in. I would be done with this.
Okay.
No, I'll be done with this in less than a minute on this.
Hope it's something new. Okay. Okay.
You'll see in the letter that what we said is we tested more than just the supplements that were taken in the 7 days before the fight. And I'll let you go look at that letter. I don't agree with it. I just wanted to clarify that. As far as the recommendation, I'll start with the license revocation. I think that our position on that is, as we stated in the brief, I mean, frankly, if the license is going to be revoked and John Jones can come back and reapply, that's fine. That's fine. So it makes that part easy, I guess. I mean, there are some issues as to when he can come back. My reading of the regulations is you see in the brief is that he could, in theory, come back as early as August, but would he do that if he were suspended by USADA? It seems like it wouldn't make much sense to do that. But we're fine with that recommendation. On the fine, I mean, this is a tough point, and I do appreciate Mr. Foster thinking about it closely. I think the reading of the regulations, at least my reading of it, is that the two $2,500 fines, that's fine. I mean, we haven't raised any issues with that. The 40% fine, if you look at the regs at section 18843B of the Business and Professions Code, it says that you can assess a fine of up to 40% of the total purse for a violation related to use of prohibited substances. And so the question is, what does that mean? Is the related to use of prohibited substances mean that the factors that you should be taking into account in assessing the fine are this positive test, or that you should also be taking into account all these other things we've been talking about, the DUI and the hit and run, the things that he's been punished for. And our position, I think, is clear, is that you shouldn't. And instead, you have discretion. It says up to 40%. And our position is that that should be reserved for cases where the use of the prohibited substance part is, intentional to high extent. That's all I have to say.
Okay. That's good.
That's it.
Okay. Walker,
that's correct. To sustain the fines, suspension, and revocation based on the recommendation.
Commissioners, we have a motion. Do we have a second? We have a second.
Excellent. Oh, you did.
You have a second, I'm sorry. You said we had a second. So here's an opportunity for the public to come up and make their thoughts known. You're encouraged, if you wish, to speak to us, to say anything you might have with regard to this matter. So if you want to come up, we'll state your name, give you a microphone. How do you say? Can you?
I think I'm done with it. Hi, my name is Giovanni. I'm a fan of big martial arts, and no one paid me to begin or anything like that. My thoughts on everything that I've heard. I think that if someone is found to be guilty, they should be punished through monetary means. I feel that this is a punishment that could be pertained to someone if they make a mistake by accident or something like that. And I feel that it would give the opportunity of a fighter to correct said mistakes. So I feel that if you guys make any decision, it should be a monetary punishment and not necessarily a revocation of license. That's just from hearing everything that you guys have said, if I have any sort of a correct assessment of what's being said and what's going on.
Thank you very much. Anyone else like to comment? Okay.
Yes, sir. I'd like to hear again exactly in terms what the recommendation is. I heard that, and I would like to hear what the second is.
We have a motion.
What is it?
We have a motion.
I'd like to hear.
Okay, so we have a motion. We have a motion and a second to take a vote on Mr. Foster's recommendation of revocation, and the 40% fine plus the $225,000 fines, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So it's time to vote.
With the idea that this other group find out what if back in play.
Absolutely. Mr. Jacobs said, go through the exciting process.
Plain English. I like plain English. This is fine for all you attorneys out there and all that, but I like plain English.
Yes, sir.
I'm a Harlem boy that only knows plain English. Not all.
Don't let him fool you. He's the smartest guy. Okay. Yes. Want to discuss more? Okay. Well, second we vote or you discuss more? You're looking to.
Because I think the other option is possible suspension. So we can revoke, we can suspend. Those are the two options, or we can do nothing. So, in my estimation, the reason for the revocation would be this. If we were to suspend, we could actually suspend for longer. The revocation would be for a year, according to our statutory scheme, right? If we were to suspend, we could suspend for longer. But in my opinion, the problem is Mr. Jones has been suspended before. And under a suspension, he gets his license back automatically at the end of the suspension. With a revocation, there's actually a condition that he comes back to our commission and he show us evidence of rehabilitation, which he hasn't had to do before. So while the time might be shorter, we can say no for whatever period of time, that year, the next year, or whenever he applies. And I do think that the chairman is correct. Perhaps there is a team around him, perhaps the people around him, I don't know, who are enabling Mr. Jones in a way that he shouldn't be enabled, because even after the 2015 accident, Mr. Jones went on to have people sign for him declarations that he took online classes that he should be taking himself. It isn't just the intentional or not intentional, because under our scheme, it doesn't matter. responsibilities. So I think it will be important for Mr. Jones to come and show evidence that he is doing something to show personal responsibility. And also, just maybe strategically, although USADA's letter says 4 to 6 years, well, certainly I believe they're going to give more than one. I think maybe somewhere between 18 months to 2 years. That's just what I believe. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, although I'm never wrong, but whatever. So if that's the case, I don't believe he won't come back to us while the suspension is going on. But even if he does, we have the ability to stay on. So
Anybody else? We're going to pause again. Mr. Foster? Chairman Palmetto? Aye. Vice Chairman Lehman?
Aye.
Commissioner Frierson? Aye. Commissioner Shinner-Quidez?
Aye.
Commissioner Sauer? Aye. Commissioner Dr. Lee? Aye. 6-0, sir. The regulations passed. Mr. Jones, I want to see you fighting as soon as possible. I hope you believe me, because I mean that. I hope you're listening to some of the other things that I said to you in the other commissions. Think about the people around you and some of the things that you're still doing. You're a unique, outstanding individual. I'm happy. I want to see you back in the cage as soon as possible. Come back to us. Okay?
One more thing. Jones, you heard me talking about I've been ill for a long time, so home listening to on the TV. I really want you to look up who I was talking about, Stephen A. Smith. I don't know if you know about him or whatever happened, but he's an African, especially for African American athletes who need some training, who need some understanding who they are and who they impress. Because I have a grandson who doesn't even know what's going on or what happened in the past. You need to be a role model.
We're going to adjourn for lunch in 1 hour. 45 minutes. We'll be back. Thank you all.
These are sick. It's like those MRE. 2, 1, bam.
Yeah, Dominic Cruz is sitting here, was looking at this thing called Green Belly Meal to Go. The guy who created this is like this long distance hiker. Like he does those, like, do you know that trail? What is it called? The Appalachian Trail that goes from.
I love it.
You know of it? Yeah. What does it go from like Georgia to Maine or something crazy like that? And these people walk it. It takes like 6 months.
Yeah, I'm into stuff like that. That's like a whole different part of your life, I feel like you get to when you do stuff like that. Like,
Well, you gotta have a real commitment because you're not doing anything but that for 6 months.
yeah, it's a different lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's like a different time in your life. I feel like you do something like that.
Yeah, but like being a fighter, do you feel like you're pretty limited as to what you can do outside of fighting? As far as like you're always recovering from training, you're always involved in something related to either promotion or preparation.
Yeah, agreed. It's I mean, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. How many of these things have you done with
Done a lot. I've done a lot. Yeah.
You know that it's all or nothing.
Yeah.
Because everybody's so good that if you don't invest every ounce of yourself into something, there's somebody else that is, in my opinion. So it's like you have to do that, or else you get passed by.
Yeah, and you also feel like you have to be super objective too about where you stand and where your skills are at, because you're either at a point of constant improvement or you're at some sort of stagnation or decline.
Yes, I think so, but then that question always comes to mind according to win and loss ratio, which doesn't always tell the truth, because that's not always the fact. It could just be a bad night and a good matchup and they had a game plan, or you lost and now you're going to sit and go to the drawing board and say that everything was off because of one loss. It doesn't really make sense to me. So it's kind of a mixture. You got to find a happy medium. It comes down to trust in the people around you. Not having nothing but yes men around you. And I feel like as long as you have a good solid base of people that give the truth to you, then you don't have to think with your emotion. You can think with logic. And then I think it's important to have those people around you so you don't steer off the course.
Right, because even if you do have a loss, it's not saying that everything is off, but certainly something wasn't adequate in that particular matchup. Yeah,
right.
So you're just getting off of the second loss ever of your mixed martial arts career. The first one, you got caught by Uriah with a guillotine, and then the second one, this Cody No Love fight. And what are your thoughts on it now, having time to reflect and look back? And
well, my thoughts are, I pretty much laid it all out right away because I wanted to just do that, which was at the press conference, the post-fight press conference. I pretty much just wanted to, I literally laid every ounce of every thought I had at that moment out there for everybody to hear at a point where I'm very vulnerable. And I did that on purpose to show that we're not all, the same. Some people don't want to show their vulnerability. Some people want to just be seen as only perfect, only tough, only strong. And really the truth of what makes the strongest people in the world is their vulnerability early until they learn how to be tough. And, losing is part of that lesson, unfortunately, for everybody. And being unsuccessful is part of that lesson for people just as much as losing. So it's like, you do what you can with it. And that's how I feel now. It's like I do what I can with it. And the only way to make the best of it is to accept it right the second it happens. Understand that that's just the way it is. That's the way that this has been slated for this portion of my life. And just move forward. And as long as you embrace it, don't make excuses for it. And then you can actually look at what you did wrong and take it in. The second you make an excuse, the second you say, well, I was a little off here, a little off there because of this, this, and this, is the second you allow your mind to go into a path of, well, it wasn't in my control, which means you're not really dealing with the problems at hand. I think you're kind of bypassing the problems at hand when you do that, and then you can't grow from the experience. So what's the point of a loss if you're not going to grow from it and get the most out of it? Now it's just useless if you don't accept it.
Yeah, there's a real instinct that many fighters show, almost immediately after a loss, to go right into what was wrong with the camp, what was wrong with an injury, what they could have done differently, personal problems, and that really can wreak havoc with your mind.
Correct. I agree. I think more than wreaking havoc with your mind, I think it just shows how long it's going to take for them to get over the loss. I mean, that's the thing. The second you just say it, lay it all out there, and everybody knows, including yourself, the next step is growth. It's no longer stagnant and sitting and feeling the loss and trying to accept it. I've already accepted it. I accepted it the second I shook his hand in that octagon and they raised his hand as the winner. Am I really going to sit here and make excuses? Because let's say on the judges' scorecard I had some mindset that's like, oh, I shouldn't have lost the decision, or maybe this, maybe that. It's like, what's the point of that? Because in the end, it's already been chalked. It's already there.
It's written down. Yeah, it's over.
Regardless of what anybody says, that's not leaving that piece of paper. So what's the point of really saying all this stuff, letting people argue that, well, you could have won here, you could have won. Where is the argument? Where's the logic in that? Where's the point in all that? And I'm just sick and tired of excuses. I've fought so many years, winning so many years, hearing so many excuses about why I beat people. And I wanted to set a parameter right off the bat that I'm not that person.
Now, you're getting really well known as an MMA analyst, and I think you do an amazing job on Fox. I think you're one of the best guys in the world at it. You're really, really good at it. But one of the things that people are getting a chance to see because of that is how your mind works and how much thought you put into not just fighting itself, but the whole process. The whole process of preparation and mindset while the competition is going on. And that's also being reflected right now in the way you express how you get over a loss. Where have you learned to think like this?
Well, my mom is a big reason for that, I would say, early on. She just always forced me to deal with the things I didn't want to deal with. and not just deal with them, but look at them in the eye and talk about it.
Like what kind of stuff?
Anything. Like you steal a packet of gum from the store and you walk out with it, and you're 7 years old, and you get home and you're eating a piece of gum, and your mom goes, "I didn't buy that for you. Where'd you get that gum?" And we drive back with the gum in my mouth, put it in the wrapper, show the person that at the front, and that's not enough because I embarrassed the cash register, so I got to apologize to them, and then I got to go to the owner of the store, the manager, and apologize to them, and then might have to go paint a wall for them to make up for the piece of gum that I mean, it goes all the way down to that. Like, my mom has been that way since I can remember, to where she would never, ever let me make an excuse for anything I ever did, ever. And I used to get so frustrated with her because she would also never really get mad. She would never really, like, raise her voice. She would never really show a whole lot of emotion. She would literally say, "I'm not going to yell, I'm not going to scream, I'm not going to get angry, I'm not going to give you that power. But that's one." And that meant I was getting one whooping when I got home when I did something wrong. And so now I got to sit and think about that for the next 5 hours until we get home. And then she takes me into a room and she sits me down with no anger. Everything's understood. She says, "Do you know why we're here?" And she explains to me why we're here and why I'm in trouble and why I'm getting smacked on the ass with this breadboard. And there was never any escaping anything, ever. So it's like, it put me in this weird mindset where I don't make excuses. And anybody who makes excuses, I call them out on it. Because it's old, it's annoying, it's flawed in my opinion. It's just weak.
That's a great lesson. That's a great way to be raised too. Your mom.
I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I do this every time. It's just something that's like made me that. You asked how I got that in my mind, and it wired me a little different. My grandma's a pretty crazy on that too. So between my grandmother and my mom, who helped raise me because my dad wasn't around so much, those two molded me into this weird being.
Do you think they could have got through it without beating you, without the paddle?
No,
to the
absolutely
ass?
not.
No, you think that was
No,
imperative?
It was me and my brother. And
Right.
We were just
It's too much.
We were little mutants. We're in the trailer park. Like we'd be fighting. My mom's at work. We're in the trailer. We lived in a trailer across the street from my grandmother, and it was like $400 a month, to live in this trailer. It's 1 bedroom, single wide. She would come when we would fight. We'd hear the door open, and my grandma would be at the door, and me and because you could hear us slamming into the floor because it's echoes from the bottom of the trailer, right? And so she'd run across the street, and oh no, we knew we were in trouble when Grandma came over. It was bad. It was so, I don't know, it's just a weird upbringing, kind of, to an extent. I think everybody got raised by their family, but by my mom and my grandmother, it put a different mentality in me, and my grandmother's a very tough individual. She's been through a lot.
Now, when you started fighting, how did they approach it?
Yeah, that's another